Hey, this is a recap of a part of a road trip with Brett Erickson, Morgan Murphy, and Ggreg Chaille. And if you do not listen to the clusterfuck of, what do you call them? Sponsors at the end, I will kill this podcast. I mean it this time. I swear to God. It's a magical joyride where I shit on Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle again and my friends, and I fire my old friend Chaille. It's a long ride. Enjoy. And you know what? If you don't enjoy it, don't fucking tweet me going, it's been more than a week since I did a podcast and now I have to listen to 4 hours of one. I don't know how long it lasted, but I don't fucking care. Go to hell. I love you guys. Thanks for helping me out. Fuck you. Hey, all right, bye. All right, here's the podcast thing.
Oh, my God.
I wonder what Chaille does all the time he's not making merch money like he didn't tonight.
Tonight is pretty piss poor. We could have really just not done it tonight.
What do you mean? I sold 4 CDs.
Actually, you did pretty good.
I sold some posters.
Morgan Murphy?
I sold a lot of merch.
Morgan Murphy sold out.
She
Sold out. It's a good job, Murph. Murph the toast.
To be fair, I sold out when I was 23, and I took a job writing for television instead of a comedian. What do you mean? I don't have pockets in this dress.
That's what I was trying to say to start the podcast is this, go through my jacket there. This podcast is brought to you by Axe Body Spray because we're going to smoke in this piece of shit room. And in the morning, instead of the $200 smoke in the room fee, we douse it with Axe Body Spray. There's funnier ways that we've considered doing it. Rotten shrimp, curry, where it just stink up the whole room with something so foul. But Chaille
Something so
figured out-
foul that they don't make a sign for. Yeah.
I'm sure we've talked about it on the podcast, and I said it on stage tonight. For the 99% of people who don't listen to the podcast and I can't do that joke on stage because I said it on one podcast, or I think I might have tweeted it in 2013. It's old material. Nah, fuck him. Morgan Murphy is going away. She's going away. No, I got it right here. Hey, lady, I get that. Oh, sorry. I squished. No, they don't have a real ashtray.
It's a non-smoking
They have
room.
a sign there. Look at the sign. Read that. Brett Erickson is with us. Chaille, read that sign. Will you grab that sign?
I don't see.
Fuck. That's because someone put their shit over it. Oh, Ggreg Chaille. It's underneath all of his fucking...
I had to change it in my outfit, my
You had to
podcast
change
outfit.
This is a non-smoking room. If you must smoke, please use the ashtrays provided and go out onto the balcony.
Now, go back and read that again with highlight the provided that they didn't provide. Much like they didn't provide a second bed that's supposed to be a pull-out bed, but they did. Go ahead, read it again.
This is a non-smoking room. If you must smoke, please use the ashtrays provided and go out onto the balcony, you cuck. Thank you, management.
They did not provide an ashtray. They did provide a balcony. But since they didn't provide the second... Oh, we only have a one bed, and then in the living room we have a pull-out sofa. No, they have a sofa that if you move the sofa, they have a Murphy bed behind it. So you have to hire movers or just drag it into... The only place it will fit is in a hallway where you block the hallway.
Then you gotta like duck walk sideways to get by the couch in the hallway.
If you're slim enough to duck walk past it. Morgan, how are you?
I'm doing well. I feel good about the show. I thought it was a fun show, a fun ride on the tour thus far. You guys are continuing without me. It's fine. It won't be the same.
Fuck, I forgot my notes.
I'm looking for mine.
Yeah, no, I get notes. Last we left you, I don't remember. I know I was trying to catch everyone up on Boston, all the chaos of getting to Charlotte. And it was before the Charlotte show. With Erickson and Chaille were waiting for me there with high expectations of a beautiful tour. Have your lighter, nice lady?
Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Thank you. I said thank you. Giving it to you.
Murphy, you're here, but we're gonna go step by step.
Yeah, do it.
Please hold. I get my notes are right here. Oh, Jesus! All right, should we start at the beginning? I mean, tonight. Let's start with tonight because
let's do it Duff McKagan style, where we start with a pancreatitis and work backward from there.
No, he started with
his kid's birthday.
The book that I've written, at least the rough draft, starts with talking about all these books I read. I read books to inspire me or say I can do better than that. That's a terrible book. But the great ones, except for the No FX book that I can remember, when you're reading about some fuck up, whatever, degenerate, whether it's a rock and roll, punk rock, they invariably get sober 3/4 of the way through. And Duff McKagan's did just like Mishka Shabali. At some point, they stop being interesting and they start jogging and being sober. So you just get to that point, but you also, if you read like I read laboriously, I've read this much, I'm going to see it through. Maybe they fuck up again, or it's a fun read. No, they never do.
Well, it did happen a little bit with the Duff book, but which is It's So Easy, the book. It's,
when he started doing Xanax and taking
for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
for 2 weeks.
Which I mean, come on. I mean, at his level of Xanax,
22 Xanax a day. That's a lot.
Admirable. But this book is available on Audible, a sponsor of ours in the past. I do want to say that. It's So Easy. And it's Duff McKagan read by some other dude.
Listen, the first 3/4 of the book are fantastic. It's just that part. I can bitch about other parts, but I can bitch about anything after this show. Let's start at this show, and since it's fresh, we just ran out of this. Wilmington, North Carolina, that's where we're at, and it really is a great town.
Beautiful.
That whole downtown street is a great party. But we thought, let's just do the podcast. Instead, we have a widescreen TV. We can peripherally look at basketball playoffs.
I need to see the Blazers. I would have come back here anyways.
And we hated the audience.
The audience wasn't the best that we've had.
Really?
Not the best.
We did have an ejection. A couple got in a fight. A guy shoved a girl. I go, hey, that's not on us. They're telling me about it. That's not on us. It was up in the bleachers.
This is a small theater. The bleachers are...
I can't believe you didn't see it. I thought they were blaming us. Dead Crow, they sponsored the show and everything. Timmy was really cool, and he was saying, like, well, we had to throw someone out. Do we need security? I go, Doug will handle anything that comes up. But then he started to explain what happened, and I go, what, like a couple got drunk and got physical, and you had to kick them out?
Whose set was this during?
Yours.
All right. For the listener, I'll describe this theater, I air quote, as a funnel. It's the size of like a 75-seater, but it holds 200 because it goes almost straight up like a funnel.
It's what they call stadium seating for movie theaters, where they don't go back, they go up.
I call it funnel seating, where if you took a shit backwards and you could squirt like a penguin, it would hit the front row.
Speaking, wait. Can we first starting from the beginning? At the end of your set, which is the beginning of this podcast.
Oh yes.
I was having a moment in the restroom, a peaceful poo.
This is where we're going.
And I was sitting there, and I hear the click of an iPhone taking a photograph.
Hold on, I'm queuing it up.
And I said, "Go fuck yourself" to whoever it was. And then I heard a giggle, which made me know it was somebody I knew. And I don't know if it was Chaille or Brett. And that's what I want to know. Who do you think it was?
When you told me this,
yes.
I promised you it was neither of them. They would not do that.
No, it happened.
They would never do that.
I would never do that.
But when you said it was just a picture of my shoes, I go, all right, I have to back off my back.
There it is.
It was Chaille.
But I was taking I took like 10 pictures. The first 8, I realized I had the square in for merch, and it kills the speaker.
Yeah.
So you couldn't hear the click, 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 click.
Do you know what that click is? It's of Chanel loafers in a room with no toilet paper or soap. That's what that picture is.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Let's back up.
Yeah.
So you took a dump, and there was no toilet paper. So can we take a picture of your asshole?
I used paper towels.
Like a gentleman.
Paper towels in a stall?
Yeah, but no. I realized during my initial tinkle that there was no toilet paper. So when I went to have a longer moment, I took some paper towels from the sink area, and then I went out to wash my hands, but there was no soap. There were things in the sink, but they weren't soap.
You mean during your photo shoot?
During my photo shoot.
Murphy
During
ate her
Chaille's.
first Subway breakfast sandwich today, was unimpressed, but what she doesn't realize, we
Here it
eat
is.
those every day because it comes with a plastic bag and a napkin, so you can shit in a bag and then wipe your ass with a napkin.
Yeah,
You learn
no.
these things on the road,
Yeah,
Murph.
they put the sandwich in the bag, but that's a ruse.
They're asking you to please, at the end of this transaction,
Yeah.
you'll be putting it back in the bag.
Yeah. The lady gives it to you. She's like, wink, keep the bag.
Cycle of life.
I'm adding a couple extra napkins.
You return this at any Subway for a free
Recycling. Reuse, reduce.
Corn is a tracer. Why would you put corn on a breakfast sandwich? It's a tracer vegetable, so you know to return this.
It's like
to any
breadcrumbs in the forest.
Yeah.
Subway. You look like you've never held a microphone in your life,
I'm holding it more delicately because I'm wearing a dress.
and you're very soft-spoken.
Yeah.
That's why I put you guys on the same mic.
Hang on. We got to plug the. That's the one. You bought a dress today that you refuse to wear on stage.
Yeah.
It doesn't. The dress does not fit your act. You wear.
I thought you were going to say it doesn't fit. And I was like, Doug, it's not enough already with the things not fitting jokes.
But you have a 1950s dress you bought reticently. I had to actually coerce you into
You were like
on.
my my girlfriend if my girlfriend had a gruff voice and was like, go get that for yourself, you deserve it.
Don't look at the price
I didn't even
tag.
want to try it on.
It fucking looks great on you.
Oh, thank
I can't
you.
believe
It's
you didn't go on
nice.
stage with it tonight.
Wow.
Can we extend the tour one more night?
Honestly, having Morgan Murphy on this tour for the 5-6 days we've been out has really been brilliant. And you've traveled well, and you've dealt with all of our fuckwiths well, and I hope the writer's strike does come
Happen.
into play. So
Thank
you're
you.
needy for
Available.
us.
You're the one who hopes that happens. You're the one. There's 6,000 people in Los Angeles going, I'm going to lose my house. But one of them might be happy that I get to go back on tour.
I was in L.A. for the last writer's strike that I remember.
When was that, by the
10
way?
years ago.
It was like 10 years?
I remember going, oh, writer's strike. There's going to be no more Suddenly Susan. Wow. What a
There's
What a
going to be
tragedy.
Eventually Susan. Oh, cut that from the thing because I don't want people to think
no.
that
Here, I'll mark it so I turn it up.
Okay, good. MorganMurphy.net. Oh, wait, I don't have a website anymore. Go ahead.
Okay. I do have to. I'll put this in here right now.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have merch on the tour.
No.
But people came up to the booth looking for merch.
Well,
and we're
that's
going
good.
to offer that on Doug's website. So if you want to get Morgan Murphy's CD, is it a CD?
Irish Goodbye.
Yeah, sure. I'll make more of those. I feel like I feel like I went on Shark Tank and you guys agreed to pitch my product.
Oh, you don't want to be on Shark Tank with us.
No, we did. Erickson, Murphy, and I did the last tour without you, where Erickson was the de facto Chaille. We all pitched in except for you, did most of it. And at the end, Morgan had to fly off, and she had all these CDs that she kept in her garage because she goes, I never thought about selling merch. Why do you have them?
Is that what you do with it?
No, I just didn't want to do it. Can I be honest? I didn't want to do it alone. It's scary for me to be around people by myself. And then when I was on the road with you guys, it was like, oh, well, the attention goes to Doug. So I'm this kind of periphery character who gets to do it on the side. That's much easier for me. But when people are looking at my face, I don't want to be there.
Well, when she left, her leftover merch, she goes, I can't bring this on the plane. I want to fly carry-on.
And you were driving back.
And I was driving
so
home.
anything goes in the
I
van.
said, Chaille will just sell it on the website. And then when I told you, you go, I didn't believe you. No, he will. We used to sell a lot of other people's. I don't know who we still sell. That's all Chaille. Chaille is the reason that we're on the road doing this. Without him, we tried by ourselves, and we made it through.
It was a week, but it was a long week.
It's kind of like, what's that?
And we were selling four
Yeah.
things. We had four things. We had no T-shirts. We had no vinyl. We had
No posters.
We had my CD, Morgan's CD, a DVD, and stolen Bibles, and that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And every night I had a wad of fucking crumpled up bills and a clusterfuck trying to make change.
And you didn't
and trying to
uncrumple them?
trying to run fucking credit cards through the square. And
Yeah.
it was
Running
a
outside
fucking
where you
disaster.
got internet service
Yeah.
to run the credit card. It's just like,
And Sally-
you're like, oh, you want to buy the CD? I got to run $15. Hold on.
At Sally Tomatoes in Roanoke Park.
Oh,
no
wonderful.
fucking phone coverage. So every time someone wanted to run a card, I'd run it, and then it would just keep spinning. You know, the buffering
Yeah.
signal. And I'm like, hang on a minute. I'd run outside, hold my phone up to the sky, and in 4
And this
seconds
is
it
also
would
the
work, and
place
then I'd run
where
back.
the toilets went out.
toilets,
so,
yeah.
so Wi-Fi was a secondary problem.
It was easier to find diarrhea than Wi-Fi at Sally Tomatoes.
So we're glad you're back.
What was
Shaylee.
the?
Is the
I was
point.
trying to use the analogy of where all the kids are stuck on an island. Classic
Lord of the Flies?
Lord of the Flies. That's what we were like without Chaille.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But we're
when
talking
you
about
buy
the-
merchandise, you keep Chaille in business, and so thank you for doing that.
I got to tell you, the real star, Erickson, I don't know if you guys know his pitch while you guys are back smoking in the green room before you come out to do merch.
You mean when I go out to the people and meet with the people and shake hands with the
Like,
people?
I have to run and get the recorder because we record our sets and stuff like that. I have to do some things, which having someone there, which Tracy, I bring on the road, lovely Tracy. But Erickson, lovely Erickson, he will stay there, and I know he'll chat people up, but he goes overboard. But that's his forte. Because and then when you guys are still in the green room, like fighting the urge to come out until I have to go drag you out by your ears, he's out there telling everyone, oh, where's Stanhope and Morgan Murphy? Not out here talking to their fans, but
Guess they don't care about the
Yes,
people
they
like
don't
Brett
care,
Erickson
like-
does.
But I don't have
Erickson.
merch, so I don't have to be
well,
out
no,
there.
but he could still just slag on you. So that's the point of that. Yeah.
I care about the people.
Yeah.
You can just say Morgan's got nothing to gain from the situation, and Doug is
Too wordy.
Doug.
Can we pare that
feel
down?
I feel like I'm a lot like Duff McKagan. I'm just one of the guys. I'm not like a rock star like some other people claim
You know what?
to be. on
Unless
the
there's a
road.
line, then I'm going to use my rock star privilege. I'm not waiting in no fucking line.
When this tour started, I go, hey, we're 5 people. We're a band of brothers, and we split all of the shit equally. But now I realize I'm the lead singer, and your lawyer's a fucking asshole, and she's expendable, and that guy can be replaced by Brett Erickson.
And karate taught me that I deserve to own part of my band. Is that what happened? I don't know. I just read that. I didn't.
Mishka Shabali will be, once you leave, you're replaced by Carlos Valencia again.
No? John Gibson tomorrow night. The next 2 nights. It's a local.
Does Carlos know this? Maybe I'm
yeah.
spreading.
No, Carlos knows. He's coming to, I think, one show in Atlanta.
Either way. No, Mishka's doing. Let's go back to the.
By the way, I would go to Atlanta, Doug. I really want to go to Atlanta. I really would.
It's going to be.
Well, good.
We'll be pieces of shit.
Wait, hold
Okay.
on.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say I would go, but I have to see my dog. That's why I'm not going. I want to go home and see my dog.
You're going to make Brett cry.
My
on the
dog's
podcast.
left me for Tom Konopka. And you know what?
Only because he paid 1 iota of attention to him.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, do you want water?
Tom
I like him
Konopka's-
more. I like Tom more.
This guy knows where the water is.
That opposable thumb comes in handy.
Actually, that's the one thing Tom Konopka, I've walked in on him not having like just a thin 1/8 of an inch of water for the dogs. And I used to yell at Bingo. One time they were dead dry and he's come close. That's the only thing. I don't bring it up, but
I
he
don't-
listens to the podcast, so I
It's
just
not.
told
It's
him.
not on purpose. He's very attentive to that. He
is.
takes care of
He
those
walks
dogs.
them, and that's why they drink more water. We didn't walk them. Just sit around. They fucking have mojitos.
It's there again. Has it been a week already? There's water.
All right, last we left you, we were in Charlotte the night before a show.
Yeah.
We did the Comedy Zone where I haven't worked there since they used to book me in the 90s twice. Used to. 2 times they booked me where Heffron would tell me to my face, hey.
Who's Heffron?
He was the booker, owner, I don't know. But he was a nice guy, and he loved my act. And he'd say, hey, me and the other guy, we just book you for ourselves once a year. They're going to hate you.
Thank
And
you.
they did. And he booked me twice. And then after that, he said, yeah, we can't do this anymore. They hate you too much. And then they brought me back. And I don't remember the show, if it was good or bad. I know I'm working out shit, and it's gotten way better over 8 shows or whatever we've done. I don't know if it was good.
That show was sold out, 350 some people. I mean, that was the first show of this run. And Boston was just kind of you had Morgan was there and Glenn, who else was
Tom.
there? Oh, no, as a junior stop kid, yeah. So, I mean, this was really the start of you having to come up with a set. So you did kind of the Friends.
We were still doing the.
Yeah.
I went up, Doug Stanhope and Friends, where I'd go up and do 20, and then go up in the middle between 2 people and do 15, 20, and then go up at the end and do 20. So you still get the time. And I did that in Charlotte. Anyway, I don't remember Charlotte. I'm trying to go beat by beat.
I'm telling you right
What
now,
do you-
Charlotte is when the soldier came up to Erickson on stage.
Oh, I forgot about that. I don't have that in my
But
notes.
he wasn't like a guy in fucking camo. He was a like biker dude, right?
I'm
He had
not-
a-
I'm not-
He had a
I'm
jean
not gonna-
jacket kind of thing happening.
I'm not going to kill the bit that you're working on, but you have a bit about North Carolina. I'll give the premise saying it's the most military-friendly state.
I could play it.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not done.
It's not even started. He was
You're
riffing
not in
it.
North Carolina next month.
Yeah, well,
No.
that's not even a necessary
All right.
part
No,
of
it's
it
a
to keep
fucking-
going. But
that
that's
will
how it
definitely
started.
be a
Okay.
bit.
That's how it started because
So-
we saw that sign.
Yeah.
So he does this
Crossing-
bit about military people being heroes, and at some point, this long-hair hippie kid, sign, everywhere is sign. He looked like that. He looked like the hippie that would be again.
Right.
But he had some makeshift dungaree vest.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
patches
you
on
come
it.
into this. Sorry, Morgan Murphy's
She
yawning.
loses-
I'm
She
only
loses
no, I'm
interest.
watching the
About
Blazers
her-
game.
She's yawning at the Blazers.
I'm
not
watching
us.
the game and I'm wondering why Golden State's winning without Durant. I'm wondering if people are going to go, oh,
Is it
if they
because it's the
dominate
first
without
quarter of an
No,
NBA game?
It is. But I worry that people are going to say, oh, they're dominating without Durant because they have better chemistry without Durant because Durant was a mistake.
Oh,
blah, blah,
hang
blah.
on. Save it for the podcast.
Okay.
Anyway, so this kid, he's doing this thing it was very venomous about military. But like a lot of bits we do, you have to hear the whole thing through.
Yeah, you can't walk in.
If you hear the premise and you go, fuck yeah, what did you say? Well, hear me out.
Right.
It's not all 30-second YouTube friendly. You have to hear the entire bit. And
Yeah. Well, he did.
before he did, he just stood up from the back of the audience with his dungaree vest that had some kind of military Hell's
Like a
Angels
military
kind
biker
of,
patch kind of thing.
Like the rocker was like,
he was the only
Charlotte.
guy in that fucking motorcycle group.
Yeah, he went up right up to the stage, which is that was I was off in the back, and someone came up to me and said, the manager came up and said, "Should we do something?" And I look up and it's you, Erickson, and I'm all, he's got this. Because the last thing I want to do is have someone go up there and make it weirder. Because unless he got on stage or something like that, so now all of a sudden their staff is like,
Well, it should
The
be-
guy
it
came
should be
straight up
said.
to the stage, crossed his arms, and then said something about,
Yeah,
I just want to have a dialogue. Or,
I just want to hear the rest of what you got to say.
is the speaker not working in the back, sir?
No, that's what Erickson said. Oh, you can't do that from
Yeah,
your
I said,
seat?
I said that's interesting because they gave me this device I'm holding in my hand that
that's
allows
right.
my voice to be spread through the whole club. You can hear it no matter where you're sitting.
And then the security started coming
Yeah.
coming close to you, and then you did the best thing you can do to show that you're in control. You, around the back of his head, gave the fanning motion to the security.
Yeah.
I got this.
I got this.
Without losing eye contact with him, so he would think something's up. And that's what I told the manager. I go, I'll tell you if we need to get involved. And that is really
then he
that's
went
what
and
we
sat back down.
Well, I'm
that's
not
right.
going to tout myself, but I walked out on stage and
right.
mirrored his position and crossed my arms next to Erickson and said, you know what? We're an army of 3. You're 1, and our 3rd, Carlos Valencia, is nowhere to be found. And no other military people jumped up to get his back. So, yeah, you are an army of 1 if you want to talk shit in a comedy club.
The one funny thing that I thought happened after that was after that I did the dumb joke I have about Jared from Subway. And I said,
that's a fucking great bit.
Wouldn't
That
it be
whole thing's
funny?
good.
Wouldn't it be funny if during this Jared from Subway bit, a pedophile walked up to the stage and crossed his arms and stood there and said, "I just want to hear what you have to say about this." Like,
I want to hear every word.
none of those guys are
my
stepping
God.
forward. You know, there's a few in here.
Erickson, I think it was your first
He's
CD you
offended.
put out. Erickson's first CD, Morgan, was just him fighting with hecklers
It's called Exile on Pain Street.
Yeah, that's right.
in Peoria at this shithole club. It's the fucking worst. But that would be the greatest, because as a comic, you would agree that your best moments to you are when you came up with something under duress and you fucking nailed it. Like if you could just get a sampling of you saying the right thing at the right time when it's all fucked up.
And
like
when
that.
it's not set up like fucking some comics do who have YouTube channels who have comic owns heckler and it's all fucking
Jamie
set
Kennedy?
up bullshit. No, his name's not Jamie Kennedy. I'm not going to say his name because he's a fucking piece of shit.
I always thought that if videos about I always thought that if videos about hecklers destroying comedians went viral, I'd be famous because I can't fight back.
I have a buddy named Jeff Bailey from Peoria who's a really funny kid. He actually did a video called Heckler Owns Comedian, and it was all set up where the heckler just owned him, and then he and he quit comedy because it was like he was so destroyed. But it was the exact same video, just completely in reverse. It was really, really great.
In the last couple nights, Morgan, you said, I don't usually react to hecklers, but you said,
What did I say?
I don't know. You told me. I missed it because I was out smoking.
Oh,
That's the only time I don't listen to my friends.
the last few nights I've been all right because your
You sit
crowd
on
gets
fucking
mouthy.
Twitter. You don't care about the other comics.
Your crowd gets mouthy. It was good practice and fighting back verbally.
She's seen nothing. One person one time on a tour said something to her, but no, you told me you repeated it to me and it was hilarious and I forget what it was.
I don't know what I said.
All right, well you.
No,
said,
I think in Lincoln, was that last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, you snap back quick. Like I think it's maybe that's something. You know, when you say something, and then there's always that one person that says something again.
Yeah.
But that's I didn't notice that about you, but you have a more of a rapid fire. You just keep kind of going.
If it happens, it happens. But I'm not good at it, and I pray that nobody yells at me. And you should take the price tag off your pajamas.
Never.
No.
Oh.
I told them to leave it on like Minnie Pearl. We're all. Oh well, you are wearing your dress.
That dress
I'm
is
wearing my
some
dress.
fucking thing. You found a dress that fits you in a vintage
What does
store.
that mean?
It's because you are a larger size. Like I'm a regular size.
No, it is.
Vintage means 1950s.
It is
where
hard.
People were svelte like madmen.
Right, and I'm also almost 6 feet tall, and it's to find a long dress that fits. It's beautiful. I wish. What's the name of the store?
I don't remember the name of that store.
Second Skin. Second Skin.
Second Skin,
Second
right?
Skin Vintage.
Oh, thank you, Second Skin Vintage.
Yeah, and everything was like super overpriced there. But
Yeah.
this pajama suit,
Yeah.
which totally fits me, was $15.
Yeah.
It's it's very overpriced, but
Everything else
when I
was.
walked in, she
But
said,
it's
"Can I help
clean.
you find anything?" Because we were over at Decade of Decor while you were there, and she said, "Can I help you find anything?" I go, "No, my friends that were just in here. If there was anything good." Chaille's the same size, he would have already grabbed it.
It was like, "Are you being served?" That British thing. It's like you walk in and she's like your valet to try and help you find something. I'm like, I'm not even telling Doug where we're at.
Let's move on for the listener. Because
Athens.
We have to name the bands because I don't know that.
After the show, Athens was great. After the show, there were 2 bands playing upstairs. The Unlikely Candidates, and Fame Riot.
Yeah.
So Chaille's settling up, and I go out to smoke on the upper deck outside place where the bands are playing. And
Outdoor
Fame
bar.
Riot,
Outdoor
bar. You can still smoke in Georgia for a limited time only. And that fucking band, Fame Riot, I missed Unlikely Candidates, who were heralded as being great, but I got there late.
Yeah.
Fame Riot was fucking phenomenal, and I was drunk. I was dancing. I was fucking dancing, and I'm like, "Come out here!"
No, we were leaving because we were going to go to a club around the not a club, a bar where no one goes to.
Yeah,
and
something Canada,
Max Canada,
and good memory.
I called you from the van, and I'm like, "Where are you?" And you're like, "Dude, you gotta get up!" You couldn't hear anything I'm saying. You're yelling, "Get up here!" You won't believe.
I wish I had been there. I've never seen you dance.
It was so good.
I was fucking.
There's only
dancing.
House of Bricks is the only other time I've seen you like the band, and it was a guy who was in.
No, there was one time in Jacksonville where I gave away that jacket.
Oh, the underbelly.
Later.
The underbelly.
Either
I always
way.
tell my friends that if I'm dancing, ever dancing, don't let me leave with anyone. I go, that is how I must be. I must be so hammered that I go, don't let me leave. Even if I go like, this guy's great, I don't know him.
I
shouldn't
tell people,
leave with him.
I'm leaving with a girl like you. Tell me to dance.
I always tell people to remind me I can make 10 times the money by not leaving Los Angeles.
All right, that's all I got for Asheville.
That's also where
Athens.
Athens, where we try to fix his phone.
We don't need to talk about that.
It's
It's all
boring.
fucked up.
Asheville.
That sounds thrilling.
Hang on. Charlie's good. He's gonna.
Usually I have a merch booth, but in Athens, Mishka let us use his merch booth. You remember
Mishka.
shit he had? He had half of a 6-foot table.
Mishka.
He did 3 songs.
Morgan, you say, "Oh, I don't have merch. I have one thing. I never sell it." Mishka, who has like 8 songs in his whole career, has 75 albums, 85 T-shirts. Yeah, he has his own merch booth. He did 3 songs. He's got a merch booth that you'd think he was Gene Simmons.
But, I've got this here, but I've got the Mishka Shubaly coffin that if you could order online. I take orders here. He had 4 shirts.
Do you want layaway? We have layaway.
Actually, there's a Mishka Shubaly credit card. If it won't take 5 minutes to.
We are huge fans of Mishka Shubaly.
If you
he's the guy. Hang on, I got to say this. He's the guy that said, "Hey, I just moved to Atlanta. Can I do the Atlanta dates? Because I'm trying to get my foot in the local ground."
New to town. Yeah.
And then he's like, "Hey, what's the money?" Money? You're asking to be on the show. The money is your giant fucking merch booth of 1,000 things, point of interest sales. You have Mishka candies in case your kid is there.
I thought it was weird that he was selling the National Enquirer. Like, that seemed odd to me. I guess it just goes by the register,
All right. Asheville is the best.
The Great
Always
Eagle.
the best.
Someone asked me tonight
Great
what was the
Eagle.
best gig, and I go, I have to, because I can't remember all of them. The Grey Eagle, I love that fucking bar.
It's the next
It was a
gig
fun
is
show.
the best for me.
I know.
Asheville is the Great Eagle is always great, but you know it's going to be great. The Passmores were there, and they left without saying goodbye. I tried to get them grab your seats and then come back out to the smoking area, but they didn't come back, and I don't know. Either way, they were the people that is a long story. I'm going to skip the mushroom story because we've talked about it.
Yeah.
But they're great friends, and I felt like I let them down because I never saw them again. That dude, who's the guy that draws the pictures?
The artist, Brian Lewis Saunders. He's totally like our buddy
Just
Jason.
say his name again. Let people look
Brian
him up.
Lewis Saunders. Look him up. He's trippy, and I was hoping that we would get to talk to him and maybe do a podcast with him because he's very interesting. And Brian Lewis Saunders. Look him up. He somehow thought that they were clearing everyone out of there.
He said through a friend of ours, Jason Fury, that he was bum rushed out of there. Or is it Jet Lacey? I don't know.
No, Fury. But they were trying to get everyone to stay.
I know. We stayed for a band that would have been great, except they were dicks. They were worse than Guns N' Roses, which we've been listening to where I thought no one was in there after the show. They're playing after us, and no one's in the room. Everyone has left, or they're in the smoking patio.
200-seater. They cleared all the chairs out of there.
And we hear them starting to play, and then they start to get into it. And I made everyone that's all trying to talk to me at once, and I'm trying to put on the fake smile where I'm like, bingo now. I'm brain damaged, too. I can't do 2 conversations at once. Hey, let's all go listen to the band. And it's a hip-hop band called Viva La Hop, if you want to look them up. And they have a horn section.
8 dudes on stage.
Yeah. Well, they're allegedly a hip-hop band. No one knows.
We don't know because they started into these tunes, and I'm like, I love this. I love horns. I love all of that. And then they started infighting. Sound man, can I? And then the trombone players bitching. No, I need more in the fucking monitors.
I need you to pull a little 2K out of the snare.
This is the thing. It wasn't even that they had started to play. That was a sound. They were sound checking.
Doug was on stage.
No, I know, but they sound checked.
I was trying to do Kenny.
For an hour. They sound checked for an hour, and then at one point it sounded like the sound check was going to come together and coalesce into a show.
Here's
but
our
this
first
was
song.
Literally an hour later, and it started. So then Doug was like, "Oh shit, they're starting!" And since no one was in the room, he was going to go in there, get on the mic, and get everyone in the merch area, smoking area, to come back in and watch this band. So he jumped up on stage, started, and then they were like, "No, we're definitely not starting."
I was trying to the same way at the Fun House where I try to rap battle Kenny, who's like he's a tomato can in the boxing parlance. I know Morgan's a big boxing fan. Yeah. So yeah, I try to rap battle Kenny. Just getting people in, and then that's when the infighting in the band started, and we're like, let's get the fuck out of here and go to bed.
When
So
we
just
left, after Fever the Hop had sound checked for over an hour,
And then
they were gone.
left.
They were gone. They went on break. They never actually played that I saw.
No,
No,
never
no.
came back.
I'm sure they played eventually.
Well, yeah, to no one. You went on stage and did your rap battle thing, and then there was some kind of kerfuffle on stage, and then I heard the manager Russ comes over, and he's talking to the guy, I think Nick at the running the front the thing, and he goes, just give him 4 more drink tickets. This whole thing of them stopping was because they needed more drink tickets for the for 8 guys in the band, right?
Jesus.
And then that's what we fucking like,
And
we
we're the
tried.
people.
We tried.
By the way, we are the people that are going to have to give away handles of Pop-Up vodka in Atlanta. Because not everyone, 5 people have brought us plastic jug handles of shitty Aristocrat or Pop-Up vodka, where we did the math. We did an audit today. If we really powered down and never bought a drink outside of the room and tried to drink all this vodka, we would be dead in the 7 days we have left. And I hate I can't dump even $9 jugs of vodka. I'm not pouring them down the drain. I'm going to have to give them back.
Well,
Let's move on. Because
Spartanburg.
we have to.
No, it was the first time I ever heard hip hop band and the word kerfuffle combined into a story.
Well, I was surprised the band didn't want to just start playing.
I was just going to say, we have to speed through Spartanburg because Morgan Murphy doesn't show up till the next night.
We should speed through Spartanburg, much like the food at the junction sped through our intestines.
I have junction in my notes.
Wait, do you want to start with the Out of Order Hotel, though?
Well, the out of order, I have that down
Okay.
too. Out of
I don't know
order.
what you got in your notes.
We stayed. This is where I texted everybody a picture of Ground Zero from the outside at noon. Spartanburg is Spartan and a berg. And if you see the picture I tweeted of Ground Zero, the place we play, it's like Porky's in the most industrial area of the most nowhere town. It's beside a scrapyard.
Yeah.
It's not you like this. How long has this been closed? Since the 70s?
It looked more like Ground Zero than the Ground Zero you're thinking of.
Good work. But it's a great guy. I've played there 3 times. That was my favorite show, Chaille.
Yeah, I know.
It was my favorite show.
Oh.
They say the capacity is 650 people.
There's no way.
Our lowest turnout, I think it was 63 or 82 people in a 650. Well, if they took the seats out, yeah, you could stand that many people in there if you were going to gas them with Zyklon B. Sure, you could.
That's the capacity is how high we can stack the bodies.
Yeah.
But there were such a great audience, and that's the thing. What's your favorite place to play? The shittiest.
Yeah, the most appreciative.
Yeah, they fucking loved everything. It was the first time I felt the worm turn on maybe I do have an act. Because
Yeah.
I can go
Started
off
to go.
script. This is substitute teacher of comedy, and that's I riffed so much where I go, oh fuck, maybe I can make an act out of this. Maybe again. I don't know how many times you've felt like I'm never going to be a stand-up again. I'm out of ideas. Nothing's funny. And Spartanburg brought me back to that. Oh, wait, maybe I could one more time. I'm too old for this shit, but we need you. So Spartanburg was fucking fantastic. That's my favorite of this tour. And we had to fucking leave. Thank you, owner guy that cries a lot and gets real sensitive. I know you went through a lot trying to get Ground Zero back rebirthed.
Just to keep it open, because that was a different venue.
We like you could smoke in the bar. Murph, you fucking appreciate this.
I do.
We could smoke in the bar, and there's only 63 people.
Now,
The
listen.
650 seater, but you can sit and smoke at the bar. Let's hang out, and then still too many people sit and fucking blah blah blah. Like just one time, can't I just sit around and hang out with you and not have to address all of your problems? Like the old days with my mullet. Can't I just be like that where I stunk and no one talked to me? I just want to hang out in the same bar. Nope.
That Brett and I were talking. That's a very interesting place. The backstage area was kind of outside with a fence around it, and you could actually pee and make a drink at the same time.
Yeah,
Which-
we had a picnic table.
There's no way
And-
to explain this. Go ahead.
Yeah,
try.
we had a picnic table with our portable bar on it. But then if you had to pee and you were a boy, you could just pee up against the fence and it would just run down onto the ground. and
There
the
was
grass.
a gap
It was like a
between the
drop.
floor of the
Yeah.
porch and the fence,
like
where it
like a
warped,
foot.
and I could
And-
just pee.
But there was also a drop. So at one point, like I was peeing, and there was a dude coming over to get his car, which was like right by where I was peeing. So if he would have looked over, he could have just seen a stream of pee coming down and been like, I don't know, what? How does what?
Broken
I was
pipe.
going to ask you what's
Broken
under
pipe.
there because I remember a friend of mine peeing over a rail one time, and then he looked over, and there was a person sleeping down there,
Yeah,
and
no,
it
this
was,
was just- it was
horrific.
ground.
That happened to me. It's in my book, but you never really read it.
I listened to.
I did.
Chapters.
I read it. That was on Curson Avenue, right next to 7-Eleven after coming out of the Pikey.
I could
Or after
pull-
the Coach and
I
Horses.
could pull up pictures of Morgan
Coach and
Murphy showing me a picture of her with my book saying, I'm reading it again. And I brought up stuff.
I read a lot of it.
She's holding it
She
upside
never
down.
fucking read it. She's a liar. She's a filthy liar. But let's get to the next night.
Greensboro, the idiot box. Remember when we walked down stage and there's like 40 seats in that theater downstairs at the idiot box? And you're like,
Hang on. No, this is where we pick up Murphy. And I
Oh, yeah.
texted her.
All
She
right,
flew
Greensboro.
in.
From Philly.
She flew in from Philly, and I trusted GPS, which said it's 5 minutes from the airport to, and I texted her going, it's literally 5 minutes. It's easier for you to get a cab than us to try to find you at whatever and find a cell phone lot. Well, it was like 20 minutes, and her sushi was hot by the time she got
Oh,
there.
But I
right.
had a great driver, Uber driver, who I said I was opening for a comedian, and he was like, my friends aren't going to believe I picked you. Like, he was so excited to pick me up. And then
A comedian.
Yeah, he just said a comedian. Like, not any comedian would have, a person who's not a comedian who said they were a comedian would have excited him.
Morgan, you're hot shit, man.
I try.
He could tell.
He was very sweet.
That sushi bar was a great
miss him.
fucking find, though.
Yeah.
That's one of those things you don't expect. And then we were staying at an old hotel, and we couldn't figure out why we were so far from the gig. And then it's because after they
2 months ago, the idiot box, the sign is still up. Idiot box right here beside this hotel. No, they moved 2 months ago. But Hennigan, booked us 2 months ago.
2 months ago, been a great fucking find to get that
Anyway.
hotel.
Hang on.
we should
Maybe
mention-
let's take a break because I want to not do a disservice to the idiot box.
Okay.
We can just keep going.
Let's finish Idiot Box. He's got Moe's there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want
yeah.
to mention Mo Alexander.
Yeah. All right. Well, then let's go. I was just going to piss. You can take over. Once I start, we get to the idiot box and we walk in. It's a coffee shop. It's the Peach Pit from Friends. There's no way you can make this a venue. There's couches facing each other. There's no stage. And Chaille goes, no, it's downstairs in the 99-seat theater. And I'm like, We're doing 99 seats. Why don't we take the night off? We don't need the money that bad. And downstairs is like a broke-ass 99-seat, still no stage, and one of the seats is missing, if you remember that. One seat is busted out, and I said Morgan Murphy could sit in that next to a man of my stature and still be taller.
Yeah.
She could sit on the floor.
Yeah. What you said was you looked at the broken seat and you go, oh, I guess it's just a 98-seater.
But it's not even 98 down there. It's like 45 or something. It's 99 was upstairs where we ended up doing the show.
But it's a theater.
Yeah, they were watching on a screen.
No.
Oh, you're skipping. I'm skipping?
Yes, you're
okay,
skipping.
I'm sorry.
I said, oh, this is terrible because there's no stage down there. Yeah. But it's a small, tiny 98-seat theater. And then I'm going, oh, fuck, this is the worst. And there was a stool in the front where there's no stage, and I go, well, Chaille's one job is done. At least he put a stool on the non-stage where I need to put a drink. And then she goes, oh, you're not playing down here. You're playing upstairs in the Peach Pit. Like,
with couches. Yeah, like Friends.
With all glass front window with the sun setting on that side where the sun's going to be beaming through into a fucking coffee shop. You're playing a fucking Starbucks.
The door opening next to the stage. Like, if you had to come into that space while we were on stage, you would have just walked into the side of the side of a comedian.
Well, this is before they had a stage. When we first saw it,
I imagined but I knew where the stage would be based on the speakers.
No, there was no stage.
Yeah, but there were speakers.
Yes.
I could not imagine where they would put anything other than a coffee shop in that coffee shop. So
Jenny and Steve did a great job.
Yeah,
They transformed everything.
Well, you say the nice things after, because what we did, Brett and Murphy and I decide, I decided for us as the leader of the platoon, let's go get as drunk as possible because this can't go well. Let's get shit-faced. And Brett said, there's a bar right next door.
Yeah.
Like a whiskey bar.
Yeah, with a guy on his phone who controlled the jukebox or the Bluetooth speaker and kept asking Doug, what's your favorite 90s song? I'll play it.
You keep cutting ahead.
Oh, I thought that was part of it. I thought I was...
Boo Radley's. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We sat down.
Wasn't that the same bit? Was it the same bar?
Same bar.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know there was
Doug's
a script.
trying to pay it out real
Okay,
slow,
Doug, you go. I'll
pee.
back it up. That didn't happen. Go ahead.
No, it did.
Oh, I'm going to say it
first,
didn't.
when we sat
To
down,
help people.
a biker
Okay.
said, I'm going to be an asshole, and hey, are you Doug Stanhope? That's when it starts.
Oh.
Then every other person in the bar was only there waiting for the show. No, the biker wasn't even actually going to the show. He knew I'd be there. And then we go out. I'll just cut to. Then we go out back. Everyone knows us. I avoid the audience beforehand, but this time I don't care because I would have canceled the show if I
did a thing that I don't see you do often, but when you walk into some place and then you see like what you saw there, you immediately start leaving, and then I have to go, whoa, 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 and you're like, I'm leaving. And then I'm like, I know, I have to fix this. I can do it, but at the same time, I'm like, don't be discouraged. We'll fix this. It'll be okay. And I saw that look in your eye. Like, if I could right now, I would cancel
theme song
this.
for Chico and the Man. Chico, don't be discouraged. The man is a... So we go over. We start hitting the fucking whiskey.
And then the part I said before?
Well, we go out back
not
to
yet?
smoke.
Okay.
There's a smoking patio.
Yeah.
We find the silver lining in the cloud.
That's an awesome deck, by the way.
It's beautiful.
Cool. And then the guy...
And then what? Oh, and then the part I said before.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, I can say it
Just
now.
holding on to that.
I'm sorry. No, I feel bad that I skipped ahead 14 seconds.
I bet the audience wishes they could.
Part I was going to say, I'm going to pee. And then the guy, it was a nice guy. That guy, he played some fucking...
Are you talking about the biker guy?
The guy who no. It was a guy in like a weird nerd shirt. Like by nerd shirt, I mean like had like code on his shirt. You know what I mean? And he was like, "What do you want to hear?" And he was controlling the speakers, and he would ask Doug like, "What's your favorite '90s song?" And Doug would be like, "I don't know this," and he'd go, "We already played that. Name another one." And he was aggressive, and Doug finally found a song.
Shouldn't he have been more accurate or more specific? Like, what's your favorite '90s song that I haven't played in the past 6 hours that I've been here? Counting Crows. Yeah.
What, Doug?
Million. When they said that, Murphy's just counting off all sorts of 4 non-blondes, and she's yelling stuff.
Oh, yeah, I was like yelling
Indigo
Indigo Girl. I was
problem.
doing an Indigo Girls. I was like, Galileo. I got excited. Well, I feel my vibes.
That's what Murphy
I'm having
does.
a
Is when you
flashback.
ask me a
Galileo.
question, she answers for me with her answer.
Yeah.
What's your favorite '90s song? And I'm scratching my fucking bald skull.
Ugly
She's like,
Kid
I'll
Joe.
tell you. It's Indigo Girls and 4 non-blondes and I go, well, I guess it would be Mr. Jones and Me. Already played it in anticipation of you answering that. So, and I went with let's stay with Counting Crows. I've been here before, and I deserve a little more. Rain King. And but then he kept playing shit. The guy did due diligence on what I liked, because he played Joe's Garage by Frank Zappa, and then I went out to find him and he wasn't there. Anyway, I had given up on the show. I did 6 shots of whiskey in 45 minutes with an hour and 15 left before the show. I want to cancel. I wouldn't ever do that to my fans. I can't claim I had to cancel for exhaustion when they've seen me at the bar next door. I can't fucking Whitney Houston this. And
well, you could have killed yourself.
They made it into a kind of a venue.
Yeah, it was great.
Listen,
But
It
by
was
then I
great,
was
but also because they
shit-faced.
loaded it in before.
we got there earlier than we would have normally gotten there, and we did that because we Ubered. We got there, and it wasn't their fault. They fucking put it together. They did a good job. And
It's like you showed up for a
They
date
did. We didn't
before
know
the
that.
person put makeup
An
on.
hour before
and you
they
were
thought
like,
you were
I
gonna be there."
don't know about this. And you're like, just wait in the living room for an hour and you'll like what comes out. I feel like that was.
But
Put
you'll be
makeup
drunk
on
when I come
and
out.
you won't fuck me until it's
Yeah.
dark with makeup. It's gonna be so much
It's going to be
different.
amazing. Good lighting.
shit.
You'll be wasted.
And they were so nice, and I felt so bad for getting so plowed. If you saw the before and after, you would have gotten shit-faced too. And it was nice, and we met a couple nice people. Mo Alexander.
double booked.
And they didn't want to tell me. I'm like, Mo, what are you doing here? I'm not supposed to say. Did you get double booked? I don't know. So he did get double booked. Double booked means they forgot to tell him he was canceled because I was coming in, and he's a good friend. And so I brought him up to co-open.
You put him up there to start start the
and
show.
The stage, remember, listener, when I said there was no stage? Oh, they had cobbled together a stage. Pinocchio. Who built Pinocchio?
Geppetto.
Geppetto built a stage that does not hold Mo Alexander.
Yeah. And if you thought it would hold Mo Alexander, its nose would have grown.
Mo Alexander is
He's a big guy.
giant gentleman.
But he couldn't even lift a foot up from one angle. But then he went to the
he's
front,
got the
front
he's
of the
got
stage.
the triad cane.
The
It's not a
hurricane.
cane.
The
It's-
hurricane.
It's a three-pronged cane.
He had some
He's
health
so big.
issues too that he's coming off of, so he's been.
Yeah, it's
recovering.
called fat. Giant, like my 600-pound hilarious life fat.
My 600-pound double
If they
book
did
comic
last
friend.
comic standing with my 600-pound life, it would be called "Who's that funny fat guy that's gonna die trying to step up 6 or 5 inches to get on a makeshift stage?"
Last comic leaning. Yeah.
Leaning
Triad
down.
cane.
It's like Breaking Bad, leaning down. So yeah, Mo Alexander, he crushed it on the spot.
I did that show in a wig.
Oh,
Remember
that's
that?
right. Yeah.
Found a wig downstairs, and I did the whole thing.
You came up with a joke to start off with. It was good.
Because,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It was the.
Docking.
Yeah, I said I was in the.
You got double booked.
I got double booked like Mo. I was supposed to be playing here with my Dockin tribute band, Fakin' the Chains.
So good.
I don't get it either.
They had a song called Breaking the Chains.
Don't go breaking my chains.
Yeah, that's exactly how it went.
That's where Morgan would chime in with "You couldn't if you tried," but
You couldn't if you
I don't
tried.
even fake sing.
all right,
It's
this
not
is
even
the
my-
most
No, you can't.
important part of this podcast, Killer Termites. Do you have the name of the place?
Wait.
Because after we left there, I tried to not sell merch at all. You made me come up for a few people. And they were really nice people, the people that booked the place. Very nice. And I'm sorry that I sandbagged it based on the daytime no makeup version.
I don't have it.
But we went to that fucking pizza place.
Oh, I got the picture.
Pizza.
That was in.
Italy.
Let's just pause. We'll pretend to take a break and let him look it up, because this is the most important part
This
of the
was in
podcast.
Greensboro.
Greensboro, yeah.
Let's take a break.
Are you having legal trouble and don't know where to turn?
Trying to find an attorney you can trust?
Do you think you've been cheated out of contingent compensation of back-end proceeds from third parties in the territory defined as North America and Mexico, including but not limited to all ancillary and subsidiary rights, whether audio only, audio, video, or otherwise?
Don't let a legal entity based in a midshore jurisdiction for legal or other purposes kick sand in your face.
Not me.
Call Eric Greenspan at the law offices of My Man Greenspan, Feynman, Fox, Rosenberg, and Light.
Eric Greenspan, when physical intimidation isn't enough.
Call Eric Greenspan, 310-820-7717.
And keep calling.
Mention Kenny for mayor and get 10% discount.
This advertisement has been approved. Are we on?
It's going.
We're on without Chaille. Oh, Brett Erickson made a fucking
I made a
power
producer
move.
decision.
Yep. Greensboro, I didn't remember this until we're trying to go through the notes, but Pizza d'Italiano. I don't remember what bars we might have been in late night in Greensboro by the hotel, but we went to a pizza place that has pizza by the slice. And that downtown, if that is downtown Greensboro, it's very, very black. It's hugely black people, day and night. And we go into this pizza place where they're very Greek or anti-black is what we found out.
Turns out.
Yeah.
Restrooms for customers only. And this is like a late night drunk place. And they have, it's not fucking New York City. So we're all ordering pizza, shit-faced, and a mixed race couple, black dude and his maybe Dominican girlfriend. They're both not white or Greek or Italian for that matter. That kind of wannabe white. How about that? How about that? I shit on you. I shit on your race. I shit on your race now. So this girl, and she's a 22-year-old nice girl, and she tries to sneak past, like any pizza place you've ever been in New York City, tries to walk past towards the restroom. It's not crowded. It's not junky alley. And where are you going? Where are you going? Well, 'cause I just wanted to go to the bathroom. And they go, no, customer. And I had already ordered my slice. And I go, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck your slice. I'm out of here. You can't let someone piss It's Greensboro. I understand. I don't even understand. I was about to give a takeaway for New York City where some junkie might shoot up. What's the worst that's going to happen if someone shoots up? You fucking.
Yeah.
It's a girl that has to piss.
She's not going to open a bookstore
Right.
in your bathroom.
Would you rather that junkie or girl peed or shot up in front of your restaurant? Like, the bathroom's the best place for it.
You're keeping it off the street.
Yeah.
So we all, even Murph.
Yeah, we all ordered.
The 3 out of 4 of us. Well, fuck you, you fucking cocksucker. Let me say again, pizza D
L.
apostrophe
L. L'Italiano.
L'Italiano.
Oh, El Italiano. Pizza L'Italiano.
Dare we take
At
business away from
219
D'Italiano?
Elm Street in Greensboro. I haven't gotten around to writing a Yelp review or a TripAdvisor or anything that you might write because I'm trying to work on an act. But if you do, because they hate people of color, and I base this on the fact that when we went across the street to a fucking Jimmy John's. Got a sandwich instead. Well, Brett Erickson, the one trader.
My pizza slice was about to come out of the oven, guys. I was really hungry. I'm like, come on, man. It's right. I can see it.
You're like the guy who, like, when like people are trying to like integrate diners, you were like, but they got a good sandwich.
Look at that, man. That's
I don't know.
That French dip is so
I
good.
got the first seat on the lunch counter.
In my defense, as shitty as Pizza L'Italiano might be, protesting by paying Jimmy John's money is the worst way to do it because that is owned by the shittiest, most cocksuckiest guy who's ever owned a fucking company.
But I hate that guy. Okay,
Hang on,
okay,
Whitey's got to eat.
Yeah.
I just got to say, Whitey's got to eat.
No, but I
Well,
also hate that
that's
guy
why
where you're
I-
like, I'm not going to shop there. I'm going to shop here. And they're like, no, you can't shop there. Or I'm going to shop there. No, you can't
come on.
shop there. Like, you can't.
No. Jimmy John's is for real. That dude, there are thousands of pictures of that guy with
But we were
holding up-
shooting from the
holding
hip.
up fucking leopards and shit that he's just murdered. He's a
rhino.
fucking piece of shit.
Well, this
and
guy,
I would never eat at a
this
fucking
guy
Jimmy
was
John's.
a piece of shit human in
Yeah.
the moment.
in front of us.
Would you rather eat somewhere where people treat people like shit or people treat animals like shit?
Where people treat people like shit. Animals
Yes.
are better than people. I will stand by that. I will
I'm
fuck.
with
I'll
you.
go to my fucking
I'm
I
with
think
grave.
you.
Morgan's with you too. I don't know why she asked that
I
question.
know. I was just curious.
But
Imagine someone shot your dog and fucking ate it as a fucking trophy. Fucking.
You want me to cry on a podcast?
See?
Is that what's
See?
happening?
Yes.
Jimmy John's fucking owner would fucking hunt your dog Jack down and fucking
But
shoot
we
him.
didn't eat at Jimmy John's house. We
Or
ate
his
at
dog.
a franchise where the guy would let that girl pee.
Yeah.
So it's a difference.
But Erickson went in.
we saw a guy be a fucking
So-
hump and his kids or nephews. It was a family of fucking humps, and they all
They were shitty.
defended each other. So
They were shitty and I was wrong, but I was really
L'Italiano,
hungry.
Pizza L'Italiano, 219 Elm
I did.
Street in Greensboro, Illinois. If
Illinois.
whatever the fucking
North Carolina.
North Carolina,
It's-
whatever.
There's basically the same state. And when I walked over, wolfed down my slice and walked over and met you guys at Jimmy John's, and we all agreed what would happen next. I went back into Pizza L'Italiano.
Well,
with,
we kind of pulled your card since you were the trader that didn't join the boycott and support the racist cause, which wasn't even a racist cause. We're playing the black. I am playing the race card for you. They're just going to hopefully jump on board because they were of mixed race and they wouldn't let a young girl pee. I pulled Brett Erickson's card and said, hey, since you're the one who ate the pizza and didn't join the boycott, will you go back and record yourself saying, hey, I just ate your pizza. Can I go take a piss?
yeah, I didn't even do that. I went in, I just walked in. I'm like, I got to pee. And I went, and then the guy said, oh, you have to be a customer. And I'm like, I just was a customer, and I just kept on going. And they're like, okay. and that was fun.
But you recorded it.
Yeah, I recorded it.
But I mean, that is a little different. You did.
They should have remembered me. Maybe they just remembered me.
It was a hugely racist
I know.
day.
You made
douches.
you made a decision in the
calling
moment.
it. We're gonna.
You guys would have a fucking perfect argument against me being a piece of shit for eating a slice of pizza from these assholes if you hadn't gone to Jimmy John's instead, because they're way worse.
We would have been better.
They're
off.
way worse. I will stand by
No,
that.
that guy is not the guy.
Just because Jimmy John wasn't
Did you
at
eat
the
at
Jimmy
McDonald's? I just watched The Founder with Ray Kroc, who fucked over the people that he stole the business from. All right, we fell asleep at the end. We don't know. Point is that
The story of
those
Ray Kroc. Ray Kroc
people
wasn't in it.
specifically were pieces
Michael
of shit.
Keaton.
I'm calling La Pizza L'Italiano. Pizza L'Italiano. Do
you wanna do it on speaker?
Elm Street. Here's the number, 336-274-4810. It's a Wednesday, so they might not be open. Or maybe, hopefully, they're not open anymore. But if you want to...
They're only a bathroom now.
Here's the thing. I would
Maybe they looked at your number and it seemed black.
What are you saying? It's a fucking 323? All right, I don't even know. That's an old... Yeah, they're not answering. Nah, they're not answering. I would encourage you to leave Yelp reviews, but I would only encourage people... I'm not encouraging you to leave Yelp reviews. I'm saying if you did, you would have to be a very good creative writer where you could maybe wait a few days, remember, and then have a different angle. Don't just say what we said.
Your pizza tasted like piss, which is ironic because I wasn't allowed to pee in your restaurant.
See, that would be what you... Yeah.
I would recommend that interracial couples go in there and try to piss and see how many people are allowed to piss.
As long as everyone had like a different idea, but they just copy what you said and they say it poorly. We need the killer termite elites where we audition you, where you can go, I have my own tact on this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was so fucking angry that
You're
night.
fired up.
Yes, I was.
I think that you were taking out your idiot box rage on Pizza L'Italiano. I'll be honest with you.
I was about to say that.
I don't think it was
Once
really
I
all
hate
them.
myself, I
It was
hate you and
a
everyone
shitty
else.
thing.
It was a
It was a
shitty
shitty
thing they
thing.
did. It was a shitty thing.
Well, Richmond, I hated myself that night, and I wanted everyone else to take the blame. I told them I hated them.
But we had the night off.
That was when Murphy was going, why do you think you did bad? Why are you saying the audience sucked? Well, tonight we both said the audience sucked, and she killed. So that's why.
No, but you say that a lot. You say you did bad when you do good. So I ask you why you think that.
Because I played to myself,
Yeah.
and I hated me that night, and I wanted a refund.
Okay.
No refunds, by the way.
I have no...
Which is available on the website on DVD.
It's all I remember of Richmond other than two nights later
Funny
thinking I was still in Richmond. It got a little...
We had an off night, so we had an extra day.
Richmond is the night...
Easter Sunday.
Richmond is the night where the Odells from Tampa came to hang out, and that was fun. And it was great to see them. And I also got a funny tagline from a kid named, I think, Ryan Silverson, something Silverson. So I just want to give him a shout out because it was fucking killer, and it's been crushing since.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
We did go looking for an Easter meal and found some Easter brunch.
I don't even
it's like
remember.
Easter
What was our
brunches.
night
We were at that
Remember
huge
the restaurant that we liked?
the
That was, we went to 3
Firebird.
times.
Oh,
But we were at the Short Pump
Firebird
Short Pump
Grill or
Town
whatever.
Center.
Yeah, short.
And
Dylan was our bartender.
Gavin.
Yeah.
Gavin. And we were there.
We had two.
Oh,
Our
Gavin.
bartender at the Firebird.
Oh, I was talking
Yeah.
about Gavin at the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
Gavin
good.
was great.
But we were there on an off night, a Saturday, which we all kind of just hung out. And then we thought we'd have our day off at this huge, sprawling mall fucking
beautiful, complex.
No, it's fucking hideous.
completely closed. But we thought we could just
it's
window shop
Lowe's.
and walk around and do things. Completely closed on
Completely closed.
Easter Sunday.
Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
I will. Other side of the coin, we got our day off is Saturday because that's when all the fucking humps come out. We take Saturdays off.
Yep.
And before I retire from this business, I'll just do Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays. When people who work like we work for a living, our bartenders, our wait staff, the nights they have off, I'll work those and those alone.
Yeah.
For now, we take Saturdays off because Saturday motherfuckers and this adult destination mall in Richmond was pile on to the I couldn't leave the hotel. I go, if you guys want to eat, I'm going to eat out of the pantry at the Hyatt. They have lean cuisine microwave. I'll do that. And you found a place that was literally the next door over.
Yeah.
Chaille did.
Yeah, a hotel that has a microwave in their room knows that everything around that hotel is shit. Like they're just like, we know you're gonna want to stay
Firebird
here.
was
We'll
good,
sell
though.
you a hot pocket.
No, that was great.
Firebird
That was
was
our
good.
place. One
But
place.
I'll take credit for this. I said, let's get there before 5 because that's when all the humps are going to come in. It was empty at 4:50 p.m. and we sat down at the bar where we could eat at the bar. And at 5:05, it was clustered with all these fucking hump Easter weekend goiter fucking.
Off tomorrow. Yeah.
We had a nice dinner with Dylan, and then we ate there late night. The next day, Sunday, it was one of the only places open because the entire mall shuts down. Everything was shut down for Easter.
Except for the $50
What the
Easter
fuck?
brunches that we bypassed.
All that was open was
Yeah.
restaurants with brunches for Easter, and this entire like a city block. That cluster bomb that they dropped, the Moab,
the
mother of all bombs, would have blown this place up except for the extremities.
But except there would have been no casualties
Yeah,
because no one
18
was there.
people,
'Cause the
yeah.
place was fucking closed.
Fucking awful.
Just us.
Yeah. It would have.
Feast
It
or
would have
famine.
only. It would have killed 32 people in pastels, and that's it.
Well, you can't keep this going without me. I'm just trying to get some.
No, do you want to
podcast.
keep going to? Are you
Anyway,
Are you done with Richmond?
Richmond? Yeah, I guess we're done with Richmond. I hated it. I hated my show. I hated being there.
That's where.
The club is they're
Shelf
nice
went up.
people.
Club was nice. Clay Schoaf went up.
Clay Schoaf
Jason
went up.
Dixon ran the club. Everyone was nice there. I thought they were great. I thought the crowd was great. I liked it.
There's not been a dick. Like
No, everyone's been
everyone
great.
that ran
Well,
shows are great.
We were talking about it. Like the green room there is right in line with where everyone goes to the bathroom.
Yeah,
Like
they gotta walk past.
And you can't hear. This is if you got a club, if you can't hear the stage in the
This
green
is
room.
I'm with you on
Okay,
this.
go.
In the UK, and you've played over there. If
Morgan.
you're in a theater anywhere, they have a speaker
Yeah,
in the
feed.
green room. Even if you have to go 17 flights down archaic stairs, you can still hear the stage, so you know what's going on. And that's one of many things in U.S. comedy that they don't have. You should be able to hear what the fuck's going on stage without going into the crowd.
Kicking the door
Agreed.
open, or
Maybe if you stop booking people no one gives a fuck about, so they don't know the guy that they're there to see is standing beside them going, "Hey, Stanhope, I'm not listening to your other acts because I'm going to yell at you because you're standing out there wanting to listen to the people that you booked with you because you like them, but we don't care. We just want..." Yeah, put a speaker and possibly a TV, since we have that kind of technology now.
It's
in
a
the
simple
fucking
fix.
green
Simple
room.
fix.
The hard fix
Very
is
simple.
getting
Put a baby monitor on stage, and you're
Bad-
fine. Yeah.
Oh, we should roll with that.
Yeah, roll with
We
the
could-
baby monitor.
Writing it down, Morgan.
Write it
I'm writing it down.
down.
the hard fix is getting Morgan Murphy to shut the fuck up while I'm trying to listen to the other acts. I don't. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you here?
I just gave Chaille a great idea. And then
Great
you,
idea.
And then you
I love
fucking
that.
rammed a half-assed insult down my throat, and it's fine. And
No,
go
Morgan
ahead.
knows that it's no problem to talk to you during the other acts because there's no speaker in the green room anyway, so you can't hear them.
you gotta hear
anyway, so
something.
you might as well
I'm
talk to
just
Morgan.
I'm kidding. For the record, hey, listening public, I'm kidding. She doesn't talk. She's on Twitter while we're on stage. Scrolling.
And then, hey, you want to see a picture of my dog? Scrolling.
I think that everyone wants to see a picture
We
of
do.
my dog.
Jack is a beautiful animal.
He's a great dog.
I said to her tonight, I'm going to just keep saying Morgan Murphy on stage. So she keeps running out to. That's the only thing
that a lot.
I did.
that would make her
Tonight.
listen to the other comics. But this is an open mic thing too. Like when you do a gig and we have 3 of the local acts that they flyered the place and they did all this promotion, and you go, all right, they're gonna go up and do their time, and it just drags the show out. I've said that a 2-man 3-hour show is less time than a 5-man 1-hour show. Like if you have to keep going, and now another round of applause, and how about a round of applause for them, and here's the next guy's a round of applause, and like people get more tired. The more acts, they get more tired than if it was 2 acts doing.
Yeah. No, but listen, I just thought of this, and maybe this is complete bullshit, and maybe I'm just
It's a podcast.
completely
It's
fucked
all
about all of this
bullshit.
But talking about this, Morgan, you came up doing comedy in Los Angeles.
Yes, ma'am.
And I've only been in Los Angeles for a couple of years. I'm learning about Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is a fucked up place to learn to do comedy.
Sure.
It's filled with people who never listen to anyone else do comedy. That's a thing.
Try starting
Like,
on the open
No,
mic
I'm
level
not-
where your audience is already even Angelinos. They're people at youth hostels who don't speak English.
Yeah, no.
And your bumper's falling off your car in front of.
I'm not trying to say
Okay.
it's harder or better or anything. I'm just saying that it's a normal thing. It's a normal thing for the way you learned to do comedy to be in a room with people who aren't listening to the other comics do comedy. I just started doing comedy in Peoria, where we had 2 comics there that week. And you just watch the show. Everyone watched the show all the time. I'm used to watching the show. It surprises me that no one in LA watches the other comics do their sets. No one does. Everyone's on their phone.
I think
Everyone's
people
talking to
do.
people.
No. I
No,
think
they
no.
don't.
I think
No,
people
they
do
don't.
at a certain level. I absolutely do think. I spent the first 6 years only ever watching other comedians in coffee houses and laundromats and bullshit like that. And you watch everybody, and then at some point, you know who you like and you know who you don't like, and there are people that you run in to see, and there are people who you go, I know they're good, and there are people you go, I don't want to see them. And you kind of divide it that way. And, I know you guys are good, and I've seen your sets, and I don't listen to all of it every single time, but I'm like, oh, it's a fucking great bit. Like, there are times, too, where I'll, listen to the whole set, and I'll go, oh, that's better than it was 3 days ago, but I don't know. I think it's more
I
about...
wasn't trying to bust your balls.
No, it's not, but I don't even think about it busting my balls. I think about it more as... the longer you're in comedy, the less you go, oh, I have to see everybody because you know more people.
That may be. But honestly, LA, when I got to LA, that's what nobody fucking watches. Nobody. It's all other comics, and they're all on their phone, or even worse, talking to another comic in the back of the room while another comic's on
But you
stage.
started in LA at a
Holy
certain level.
fuck.
You didn't start in LA at the open mic level where everybody's in the back of the room
No,
watching everybody
I'm
else.
not-
You started in
I'm not
LA
calling you
at
to
like
question your ability. I'm just saying
I
the
didn't
way
say you
people-
were.
The way people consume comedy in LA is to not watch it.
That's not true, though. If you started at a different level, if you went to LA and you had never done comedy and you started as an open micer, you'd watch everyone's set all day because you're like, oh, I don't want to do anything that's been done. I don't want to do anything hacky. But you started already as a person coming in who's established. So
No,
you're
but
with
see-
people
no,
who are
but see, that's-
established,
that's
and
the
those
difference.
people don't necessarily watch other people's sets.
No, that's the difference. Nobody knows who the fuck I am in LA. Nobody. And I have to start from scratch. and I can't get anyone to watch because they don't know who the fuck I am already. And if they don't know who I am already, why watch me?
But
It's
you
a
could
fucking
get,
catch-22.
open micers to watch you at a coffee shop down the
should
street
help.
from the Comedy Store. No, I'm just saying that's the thing is that at a certain level, everyone watches everyone. And then at another certain level, everyone goes, all right, I know I like him. Or
I
her.
can interject without knowing anything.
Go ahead.
Doesn't Erickson enter into the situation with fresh eyes? Like you've been around the
Yes
the
and
scene.
no. Fresh eyes, like I said, at that specific level. But I'm saying that I had 6-7 years in LA of shows where people only watched everybody else because you're waiting to get your name drawn out of a hat. You're sitting in the back of the
That's
coffee
it. I've
shop.
been in all those,
You're doing all
I've
those
done
things.
all that shit.
Right,
Where
but at the comedies,
as soon as they draw the names, everyone else leaves, and the people who get their names drawn while the show's going on, they don't watch anything.
All
they
right.
get on their phone or they look
If
at their
I
set
might
list and they don't watch any.
If
comedy.
I might interject,
yes.
would you watch other comics in LA if you'd been?
I do.
In
Listen.
this clusterfuck of a billion comics are there, and 99.99 million of them stink.
That's exactly my point when I said to her that the reason she has got this, she came up in LA where she's used to seeing a whole bunch of terrible comedians. So it's
and I'm gonna throw this. I'm gonna throw
It's-
this out there. And she was young and cute, and everyone wants to help her with her career. Is that not?
but
Not
hang
no,
on,
no,
hang on.
Yeah.
Is that somewhat correct?
Not at
Is
all.
You got a lot of special attention.
Not at all. I
You
think
started
that
when you were 19
yeah, sure.
and adorable and innocent, and every Richard
still
Jenny
adorable.
wanted to help you with your act.
No, but I think you started you at a certain level. So I started as an open micer, and all I ever did was sit in a room, a coffee house on Pico, and wait for my name to be called. And it was a homeless person, me, a homeless person, David Taylor, a homeless person, Nick Youssef, a homeless person, Ari Shafir. It was the same people every single time, and I watched every single one of their sets every single time.
Not saying you didn't watch. I'm saying you got special attention where people watched you because you were a young, cute girl.
I don't think so, because I think I was less cute than the cute girls doing comedy. So I don't think I was ever considered a cute girl doing comedy. I think that
then you were being fraudulently self-deceptive by saying you don't admit that because you were a cute 19-year-old girl that every Richard Jenny didn't pay attention to you and want to help you with your act, where the dumpy guy that did Mystery Science Theater or whatever, who knows I have to fight for everything I get.
I don't
Everyone's on
think
their
no,
side.
that's not at all. It was.
Are you
it
talking
was,
about the 48-year-old guy who went to LA to make it
It took
big?
me 5 years to go from, hey, I heard your joke at the youth hostel. You should do it at a laundromat. I heard your joke at the laundromat. You should do it at a coffee shop. I heard your joke at a coffee shop. You should do it at the comedy store. I heard your joke at the comedy store. You should do it at
Listen,
Largo.
Morgan, I would never ever call into question the dues you paid, because you paid them and you are fucking
I
great.
thought you said dudes you paid, and I
Well,
was.
Kinda did.
He did, yeah.
Well, maybe secretly, but for real, like that's not at all what I'm trying to say, and that's not how I feel at all. But consuming comedy in Los Angeles is different than
Yes.
consuming comedy in other towns.
Sure.
That's I consumed
Brett
comedy in the
Erickson is
Midwest.
from Peoria, Illinois.
We got two comics a week, and we watched them do 45-minute sets or
Right.
30-minute. I watched the middle act do a 30-minute set. A guy who, if you put him in LA, could get maybe a 5-minute set, and immediately everyone would be on their phones because they don't give a fuck, because they're worried about themselves.
Well, being on your
And
phone
it's-
wasn't an option when I
No.
started.
Hang on.
Okay,
Let
go
me
ahead.
separate.
Yeah.
Let me separate.
Yes, please.
You watched comedy because you had a limited supply and demand. Mm-hmm. Who would watch comedy? You can't blame people for not watching comedy in LA when there's so much
not
of it
even-
and most of it's
No,
terrible.
but that's I'm not saying I'm blaming. I'm just saying it's a different experience.
I think it's different.
That's why
yeah.
it's easy. It's easy for
I'm
Morgan.
moderating now.
It's
You're right.
easy for Morgan to not watch other comics because because that's how you consume comedy.
But I
That's
think
where it
it's all
started.
no.
Sorry, I forgot
But
where
I
this
think
all
it's
started.
also. But I think it's also.
Hang on,
point.
Morgan.
That's my
I'm
only
going.
point.
Yeah.
Hang on, Morgan. I'm
One's
going to
not
go
better
to
than
you.
the other.
You have a minute and a half.
No, I think it's.
Wait,
I
hang
think,
on. Let me.
Okay.
I forgot that's where it started. I was
Yeah.
giving you shit for always being on
My phone.
your phone because a lot of times on the road with us, the small group of people that can travel with us, and I commend you for actually being able to travel low like this.
Yeah.
But like chaos will break out, and like Chaille said, I didn't even know there was a violent domestic disturbance in a small theater that I didn't even realize because I'm just trying to remember shit.
Yeah.
Where like I always pay attention unless I'm out smoking to what the fuck's going on, and you seem bored twittering, and that's what started this.
No, I think it's more a result of being 16 years into something than it is a result of where you started from, because in addition to, I did open mics and all this shit and you're watching me all the time, I also, the first 5 years of stand-up, before I could get into certain places or do comedy certain places, I was there as an audience member. I mean, like the old Largo was my favorite place to play in LA, but I spent years and years and years
Lisa
while
Lange.
I was doing stand up, going there as an audience member to watch people and watching entire shows as an audience member, not being able to go up there. So like, I think I've probably spent more time watching stand up than I've spent doing stand up, but I also think that when you're on tour with people, you don't have to watch every set every night.
All right. Well, this is where there's a difference, which you haven't experienced on this, but it's our norm is violence,
Right.
on some level, physical, verbal,
Sure.
shit shows, everything going downhill, and that's the difference between what we're used to on the road, like Middle America. Not David Cross is going to go to the fucking 40 watt.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in Georgia, so
Right.
it's, no, it's like actual fucked up shit where you watch the other act to have his back, like
Right.
we
Yeah. There were an
earlier
army of two.
when
We're
we
an
go
army of
back to
three.
Charlotte. Yes,
Yeah.
and
Had you not been watching me when that guy came up and folded his arms, that you wouldn't have been there to do
and
that.
if it all goes to shit and you're up next and you're on your fucking Twitter,
Yeah.
like you're used to
It's
LA
just not like
acts
that. Right.
They might have a new premise, and everyone's going to go, "Oh, how brave," or whatever.
Again, Morgan. Just so you know, that's completely what I'm saying. It's not.
I'm
it's
not taking
it's not a
offense
despair-
to it.
please
I'm just
don't.
defending.
Please don't.
I'm just trying to
because
explain to
it's
you.
not meant as a disparaging thing at all. What I have realized in 2 years
Remind me,
of being in LA,
this is a
is that
perfect
comedy-
segue into fuck Bill Burr. So
Comedy
remind me.
is comedy. Yes. Well, listen, we've been building a bridge to fuck Bill Burr this whole way.
It's in my notes, but this is a perfect drop off to that.
But comedy is consumed in Los Angeles differently, and I am. That's been my biggest adjustment. That like I realize it's consumed differently. I go to the Comedy Store every fucking night and I watch comedy,
Right.
and I sit in the back of the OR and I fucking watch comics.
And I
you
used
know-
to
and
do
you know
that
what-
too.
And you know what? Yes. Well, but you know what everyone else does? You know what everyone else does that I know?
What?
They fucking hang out in the back and they
Right.
smoke weed, or
Yeah.
they fucking hang out at the bar out front. They don't watch comedy. They don't watch it. The comics. How are you?
But
a
I
comic
think that's
who's
what I
not
was
watching
saying,
the
Brett.
comics?
I
Who the fuck are you? Why are
That's
you
what
not
I'm
watching the
saying
comedians?
is because in LA, most people do the exact same set, or they might
Right.
take a diversion into the
Well, that's-
exact same set.
Yes.
It's the same set. They're
It's not
dealing.
just the same set, by the way. It's the same people, and that's the thing is you're seeing the same people most nights. So when someone goes, "Oh, Chris Rock is here," or "Louis is here," someone who doesn't live in LA is here, everyone's running in to watch. But when it's somebody who's from LA or has been in LA,
You had the sorry.
that's all right.
Sorry, I'm trying.
I'm going to get him.
I might have a pack in here. No, I do have a pack in here. The point, it's not the comics, it's the audiences. In LA, you don't have to go, oh, they're all going to get fucking shit-faced drinking PBRs that they smuggled in their own pockets and start hurling them at you. Like the kind of shit that we deal with. You know that the audience, if at all, our friends that had to be there. It's not
Right.
Peoria Jukebox
Right.
Comedy Club across from the street racing track.
Right. Right.
Where they're all shit-faced and angry and
Right.
they don't know who you are. And that's most of the audiences that we dealt with coming up. Where you dealt with LA audiences had to
just
be there
different. It's just
because
different.
they were friends of Amy Mann.
Right.
You know what? A friend of Amy Mann will never go, fuck you, fag,
Right.
you're un-American, and bow up at a stage.
And,
So
and
that's-
listen, and again, I'm just going to reiterate. I really, truly, I want to reiterate this. I am not. It's not. One's not better than the other. They're just different. Like, and the only reason I even notice is that I'm adjusting to it now.
Yeah.
Now I'm adjusting to it. I'm getting it. Like I've done comedy forever, and I've done okay. That's fine. But I got to LA and nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah, but I'm
and the
sure
reason
more
nobody
people
gave a fuck
okay.
is because it's the exact opposite of the rule of will it play in Peoria? Yeah, it played in Peoria. I fucking did it in Peoria for 20 years. It played in Peoria, fine. It played in LA, not at all. Because I was talking to people and they didn't give a fuck. They were just not paying attention. Like, you have to adjust. Like I have to have more splash in the first 2 minutes than I
Right.
used to have to have.
But not
in the-
just the first 2 minutes, the first two
Well,
minutes of your first set. Like, that's the thing, is
That's
that people
what I'm
are
saying.
running in to see new people, but they're not running in like, God bless Bobby Lee. I love Bobby Lee, but I've known Bobby Lee 16 years. I'm not running in to see every Bobby Lee set.
Well, you wouldn't
because I
have
know
to. It's
Bobby.
the same one he was doing 16 years ago.
No, but I just think there's
Oh,
also.
by the way, my fuck Bill Burr thing is not about fuck Bill Burr. So
Yeah.
if you think
No, we love Bill Burr.
fuck Bobby Lee is
No, that is a fuck. No, I'm
preface
just
to
I
fuck Bill
just
Burr.
think at some point you're going to a club, you're seeing the same 20 friends do their shit over and over and over again. You're not running to see it, but you are running, no matter what city you're, New York, LA, you're running in to see people who from out of town that you haven't seen. You're running in to see new people. You're just not running in to see the same shit.
I scrolled through Twitter the whole time you were on stage tonight, so
Hang on.
I'm not.
I think
I'm not better.
I think we're arguing two
Yeah.
different points. People run into the shows that we're talking about that we were weaned on
Right.
to see the audience react
Right.
to what you're saying.
Right.
You're not running in to see me do the same fist fuck joke back in the day before I was known. You're running in to see how the audience would react, and that's what we would
Right.
have to deal with. Where he worked at Peoria, one of the most awful clubs ever that's still running, but it's funny now. It's funny to go back because it's still the same audiences,
Yeah.
and it can be chaos, and you're just, it's a
Fighting 'em.
verbal
It's a
fist fight.
fight.
Again, he did his first album was a show there where it's 40 minutes of just fighting hecklers that are out of control late show Friday. So yeah, there's a difference.
It's different,
He doesn't get to work those chops in LA.
right?
They're dullards.
and you're used to, and again, it's not meant as a fucking comment on you. It's meant as a comment on LA. I've been in LA. LA people do not watch other comedians. They don't. Like LA comics, they don't. When they go to the shows, they don't watch the other comics.
But you think
I
if
don't give a
Chris
fuck
Rock
what-
shows up at the Comedy Store, nobody's in the back watching?
if you're Chris Rock, they'll watch.
But that's what I'm saying, is
But
that
if you're-
new...
And Judge.
Yeah.
but
He's
but-
not really. It's subpar.
But there are
I
a
believe
thousand
it's
other
subpar.
guys. Like, listen, here's what I tell people that ask me when I go back home, and I say listen, here's the good news and bad news about doing comedy in LA. The good news is 90% of the comedians are terrible. The bad news, the other 10,000 are great. And this is the thing. I go to comedy shows every night, and every night I see somebody that I have never heard of before be amazing.
Yeah.
And I am like, holy fuck, another one. But I feel like I'm the only person in that crowd who watched that amazing person do that set, because the other comics who are on the bill with me are on their phone or even worse, talking to another comic on the show in the back of the room at the time.
About each
and
other's
it
set.
fucking pisses me off. Are you not going to fucking watch this person do
All
the
right.
fucking act?
I need
I
to
don't care if
break.
you're
I need to
doing it or
break right now. We're not taking a break, but I need to break right now because I told Chaille that I don't care if this podcast goes 7 fucking hours.
It just might. My Adderall kicked in.
Because we keep getting all these tweets. Well, I can't wait for another podcast. Is the podcast done? I'm extrapolating 3 tweets in 2 weeks. You know what? We're doing shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. You only got 1 podcast this week. I'm going to do fucking 10 hours. I'll outlast all of you. And we're going to make a 10-hour podcast so you can say, what the fuck? I'm not listening to 10 hours of a podcast. So the people go,
right.
Oh, fuck you. Well, milk it.
What is this? A Duff McKagan Audible book?
Yes. If what Brett is bitching about, if I can quickly gloss over Brett's career,
it would happen quickly.
Fantastic comedian that was stuck in Peoria against his will. Had 2 kids, had a divorce that was messy, probably still messy today. He could not leave Peoria because of custody things. And he got weekends he can't leave. He can't go out and chase his dream. And when those kids were tiny kids sleeping upstairs and we were in your basement doing drugs, you're like, you got to keep it down. And he kept saying, when the last kid's 18, I'm going to leave this place. And you don't ever think
Peoria,
14 years ahead. But as soon as that kid turned 18, he fucking did exactly what he said he was going to do. And he moved to L.A. But what happened with me is after I lived in L.A. for 10 years, I go, I'm a stand-up comic. I don't even need to be here. I don't want to be on TV. And I'm not an actor. And I don't know I'm here. And I left. So maybe it's going to take you 10 more years to stop bitching about no one listens to stand-up comedy if you want to be a stand-up comic. If you want to pitch shows, fucking co-write with her. She's a writer. Get a show, but don't bitch about... You don't go to L.A. to do stand-up. You leave L.A. to do stand-up.
Well, thanks for telling me now, you fucking asshole. I was your friend for so long.
Yeah, you got rent
you
control.
Never said anything.
You got rent
I
control.
do have a good apartment.
It's good. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Fuck Bill Burr.
Oh, yeah. You want to write that down?
No, I already have it written down. I only have 3 things. Thank you, everyone who brought us plastic jugs of vodka. But I have to fly out of here, and we can't drink all that vodka, so I'm going to have to re-gift it in Atlanta. And fuck Bill Burr. You weren't here, Morgan. I can't listen to Bill Burr. I love his podcast, but I can't do it because if I listen to his podcast, I start getting his affectations and ladies. But we listened to one because Chaille was playing some containers. History, history of box containers.
Here's exactly what happened. We're driving the fucking truck. It's just the 3 of us. It's me and Chaille
Why do you
and
keep
Doug.
calling it a truck? I call it a van to obfuscate it so
Because
people
it is a
don't
truck.
know what it's a
No,
Suburban.
a van is a van. A truck is a truck. That's why I call it a
it's
truck.
SUV.
It's a van. We call
Something
We're
just
under
fell
attack.
out of
call it a
grasp.
van.
So
Hey, your diaphragm fell out. Hey, 1912, your diaphragm fits your outfit.
So before the lovely Morgan Murphy joined us, it was just the 3 of us, and we were in the truck.
Back in
van,
the good old days, I call
and
it.
Chaille was in the back seat, and he's trying to fall asleep in the back seat and put something on the radio that the 2 of us can listen to
To make
while
the
we drive.
driver fall asleep as well.
Right. So he's like, I got something really good for you. Here's a podcast thing. And and they go, all right, here's a 7.
It's not NPR, it's NPPG-13. It's
Right.
even more boring than NPR.
Yeah, here's a 7-part piece on containers.
8 piece. That was, actually, you're not even exaggerating. It was an eight part.
The best part about the containers is that the containers are this and the containers. And I dug
The
on
history of
like,
containers.
Are you fucking kidding me?
If you guys would have given it a chance. After 6, you really fucking, you're in there.
It really gets good. And there was another one, too. It was
the one where the lead in was something about this person, entrepreneur, talks about the 3 Ps. It's like periods, piss, and poop. And I'm like, oh,
this will be good.
This will be good.
These 2 boys in the front seat will like that.
We shut that one. That was the second one. But the first one was about the history of like containers. Like
Containers.
Like on the back of semi
Legitimately
trucks.
containers.
They ship over from China.
And it
shipping.
Listen, it actually started to hook me a little bit.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, back in the day, everything used to be shipped.
San Francisco.
Everything
It's the
used to
first
be
port
shipped
town.
by a normal way. But like now they put everything on an actual container that's exactly the same size every single time.
I'm actually
so that they
mad I missed this.
so they can take the containers off so quickly. That,
Remember, we're going into fuck Bill Burr
everything's
after
changed.
this because
I'm impressed that they got that much knowledge out of
I don't
want
to bore the people with how bored we were with this. And I realized this is like an 8-part thing. And we listened to the first part going, this is 8 parts of this? And then containers used to go across to Vietnam. And
Give it a chance.
Oh, my God.
And yet no one said anything. They just kept
we
listening.
said things.
No, we did. What we said was eventually Erickson said the right thing. Can you just put on Bill Burr?
Oh, that's right.
Because Bill Burr is always the answer when you do all your skeptoid, which is good a lot of the time.
I like skeptoid.
But he just puts on. He
No,
hates
listen.
Phil Hendry and he hates Bill Burr.
Listen,
I
Chaille's
think.
got good
No?
taste. Chaille's got good taste. Chaille likes Radiolab, which I love Radiolab. He likes Skeptoid. I like Skeptoid. But sometimes you go too deep into the Chaille fucking
Yes.
lexicon.
Yes.
And you're like, here's an 8-part story about containers.
By the way, Chaille,
It's
that
like
would have
Chaille-
been my favorite thing because I barely read, but when I do like books, it's like Salt, the history of Salt, or like
love that
there's
one.
a book called
Yeah.
The Mirror, which is the history of the mirror. It's
Yeah.
fantastic, and you're like,
Here's
oh, I
looking at
didn't
you,
know I
kid.
could read an entire book about the mirror, but I can. And now people are like, hey, that's a mirror, and I can go, oh, guess what about mirrors?
No, the
and then
best
tell
part
them
is,
stuff.
though, that Chaille puts these on and then immediately goes to sleep in the backseat of the truck.
Well, I can because now I know you're taken care of.
But
He
yeah,
knows that I like. Well, he knows better because Bill Burr. I actually had to call a halt to a year.
I didn't
ago,
know that we shouldn't
a couple
put Bill
years
Burr
ago,
on.
where I kept doing it when I was starting
Yeah.
my podcast, and I couldn't stop. But it's like when you used to work with Hedberg, and you
Right.
couldn't not go.
You start sounding
hey
like Hedberg."
man, I can't help but sound like what was that guy that sounded like Hedberg? The fucking weird guy. The guy they put on Comedy Central.
Oh, Dimitri.
Dimitri
Martin.
Martin.
You're like,
Ugh.
I sound like Dimitri Martin trying to be Hedberg. And Phil Hendry, I think you just got tired of.
It was just too much. We listened to it for an entire tour, and it
Passive
same move.
aggressive Chaille, where he'd go anything but
Yeah.
Phil Hendry.
But
I
you
could
didn't
listen
get
to it
Phil
over
Hendry
and over.
for like a decade in L.A. That was my L.A. radio.
No,
was Phil
I
Hendry.
grew up in L.A.
Oh, you did?
I loved him.
Oh,
He was
I
like
didn't know
KFI,
that.
man.
No, but I would make him play it relentless.
No, we would play it on, like, we would download them and we would play them non-stop for 3 weeks.
Phil Hendry was one of the first people of my life who liked me back, and I was like, you don't understand what you gave. You gave me my 20s in my car. You gave me my 20s driving back from a fucking youth hostel in Hollywood to my college dorm. Like, you gave me that. And he in turn was like, I like you too. And I was like, no, you don't. You couldn't possibly. You
No, he's
genius.
great.
Phil Hendry is so fucking good, and if you can go into the archives, it's almost like saying Howard Stern, but you have to get the chunks of Phil Hendry. Like, he had to do 4 hours.
Right.
You have to find the best of chunks that are chunks. So I understand. Point being, after the Container Show on NP Boring. Finally, Erickson just says the obvious thing is put on Bill Burr, and he put Bill Burr on, and I've lightly complained about Bill Burr, lightheartedly, and then it's just sticking the dagger deeper into my heart, where Bill Burr just gets more and more interesting as a human being, while me and Murph, like when Murphy's like, I could put a HDMI cable into the TV, and we don't have to keep watching the same 24 hours of CNN. And I'm like, it's too much work. Let's just keep watching. And then I'm listening to Bill Burr in the car, and he's like, oh, yeah, I flew my helicopter after I watched a Knicks game.
I was gonna do the 44, but I'm doing the 22. It's good.
I ran a marathon. I flew a helicopter.
Yeah.
And then I decided I'm going to go to every single basketball court in the same day. And my baby's great. And she's already an opera singer. And that was today. Nia is complaining because I have to go upstairs and build a steeple on my house. Are you fucking asshole? Oh, and I wrote a new hour.
Yeah. He even said, I called my manager, the new hour is ready. I'm like, you just put out a fucking hour.
My 3-week-old daughter just wrote an hour for me. Hilarious. It's killing.
Yeah.
He's flying fucking helicopters. I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, he's flying helicopters. You two are watching Friday Night Tykes on your fucking Netflix.
And
for hours. No, listen, you guys watched that for hours.
We
did.
on that fucking podcast.
That's a good show.
He complained.
It is. I gotta say,
It
Friday
is.
Night Tykes is the helicopter riding of shows. Is the,
Bill Burr will never know the joy of just sleeping in on Xanax that were given to you by a humble patron in gummy form, and you go, I'm going to trust you that this is really Xanax in a sour gummy form. I'll trust you. So far, it's worked out. He'll never know the joy of sleeping in.
Yeah.
He'll never know the joy of watching.
Well, he could copter over you and watch you while you sleep.
Hover.
He complained. This is the day before you get in, Murph. He complained about, I don't want to waste. He got his helicopter pilot license, but he hadn't used it in a while. I went through all that training, so I went out and I followed the traffic pattern or whatever. Like, you're so a dominatrix of comedy to me. If I was trying to jerk off to humiliation porn, which is what I'm into when I wake up after a disastrous, gambling loss. I like kink.com, humiliation.
Right.
Not the kick in the balls kind, but it's on the site. I have my own
yeah, I
thing.
get it. You're like, if I feel worse, maybe I'll feel better.
It's within reach.
It's
on the nightstand.
So to
but
speak.
face the other way. Either way, I would jerk off to Bill Burr's podcast where he's so, and this is the cuck thing. It's the new word, but I've been jerking off to that stuff since porn first started. And the pegging, I just learned the word. But yeah, Bill Burr is cucking and pegging me.
He's giving you the old C and P.
Yeah. Yeah, he's fucking completely dominating me. And I don't care for it. I hope your helicopter crashes. Oh, this happened. That was fucking Greensboro, where this guy, one of the local comics said, hey, I open for Dave Chappelle a lot. Because evidently I shit on Dave Chappelle, and I've done it on stage throughout this tour, but in a nice way. He goes, hey, I opened for Dave Chappelle, and he told me to take a swing at you for shitting on him on your podcast. And I didn't remember. I know what I said, because Morgan Murphy, we watched the three of us, Brett Erickson, and we watched that on that
watched the special
Santa Cruz. And I shit on him for... He spent 10 years, like, just being booed off stage. Like, that's the only time you heard him. He'll do 6 hours on stage is what he would do, just talking about, anyway, what else happened to me? And everyone's going, woo! We saw Dave Chappelle for 6 hours. They don't say, yeah, I was falling asleep. I curled up under my chair. I don't remember a thing he said, but he hasn't ever been around. He's like a ghost. I saw Bigfoot is basically what you're saying. I saw Bigfoot, and he's not really as devastating or scary in real life. And then he worked that into 2 great specials. I haven't seen the second one, so I'm already shitting on the first one, which I thought was great. But I was using that analogy now that I'm back, fresh-footed, and taking notes out, going, all right, I'm fucked. I'm trying to make this funny. Here's a go. But I do, an hour and 15, and I actually work on it. I don't just abuse the fucking privilege because I don't have it.
Right.
I don't have black privilege. I don't have Chappelle privilege because 3 sketches were funny once. No, he didn't. You remember the Ku Klux Klan?
That's great.
I'm not saying Dave Chappelle has not always been a brilliant comic, but you know him from a show he ditched out of, and everyone clapped for a season, and then he went to South Africa and made himself a Bigfoot legend. And now he's still funny.
Absolutely.
But I used that as an example. I was begging my way out of myself sucking. Not for 10 years, but for a short amount of time. Go, hey, Chappelle did this. You fucking love him. So, and that guy said, yeah, hey, Chappelle, I opened for him. He told me to take a swing at you for fucking with him on your podcast. And for a second, I had the hubris to think, Chappelle listens to my podcast? And it wasn't till the next day I realized, oh, if you really know Chappelle, the only way he'd know about it is because you were a fucking rat fink that you listened to my podcast and told Chappelle. And he said, no, I told him you dialed it back. Yeah, fucking Chappelle's great. But I didn't realize your fucking opening act is a rat narc fuck that wants to go, oh, hey, by the way.
I'll even take it a step further, because this is what I said when this story happened. I don't think whoever that guy was who told you that, I don't think that guy ever opened for Dave Chappelle. I think he's completely full of shit. Because the amount of time that in which the podcast which he was talking about had been released, and the amount of time in which this had supposedly happened was like 2 days. Like, what were you opening for him yesterday? Like, how the fuck? Like, or maybe you opened for Dave Chappelle once, and like maybe you have some sort of contact with him. It seemed all sketchy to me. Like
1, 2, 3, 4. It was 5 days.
Yeah,
6 days.
So
either way, the people that have opened for me, there's at least 2 on this tour where we just bring a random comic out of the audience. Hey, this guy, hey, meet Jason. He's a local comic, and you go, hey, we have a special guest. He doesn't know he's coming up, Jason, and you just make some random, and he goes, oh, I opened for Stanhope.
Imagine if somebody's like, dude, I opened for Morgan and Brett in fucking Greensboro, and those 2 fuckers said fuck LA, and fucking both of them, like they both said this. Like, well, maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe.
Point being, I keep fucking with Dave Chappelle every time I feel weak in my commitment and work ethic, and I use him as an example of I could be trying less. If I had more money, I would.
He was smart not to fucking put out any specials for a while he was doing his whole thing. That was a smart fucking business move because he created a fucking audience to be like, oh shit, let's fucking see. So when he finally did the 2 specials that got released, there was a big audience of like, oh fuck, his last special before this was amazing. So let's wait. What is this? It's going to be fucking great. That's smart.
That's the Louis C.K. problem.
Opposite.
Where he every year, and then Bill Burr, his quote was, a new hour every year, that's 5 minutes a month. And you go, that's true, but it diminishes your saturating the market.
Right.
Supply and demand, stolen Bibles. Let's get back to where we were, Virginia Beach. Fuck it.
Can we take a break? I gotta pee.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to put pajamas pants on. Is that okay?
Yeah, let's
go to a commercial break.
Oh, fuck. We have to do 4 commercials. Let's do them all in a row. If you don't listen to me, if you don't listen to all of these commercials in a row, I'll never do a podcast again. How about that? That's what? They bitch about it.
That's a call to action.
Fuck them. This is a 7-hour podcast or whatever it is. And fuck them, the people that bitch about, well, your podcast is over. Someone bitched about an evergreen. I know, I yell at you, the listener, because one guy that tweeted me. I'm going to stop fucking listening.
This is how drunk I am and how far we into this podcast that I feel like I keep looking for Chad Shank to be here, and he's not. And that's my rock. I usually hug him, and he holds me, and everything's fine.
If Chad
Morgan's going to have to stand in. She doesn't know it yet, but she went to the bathroom. When she gets back, she's going to realize that when I'm doing it because Chad's not here.
Can I say no? If Chad Shank told me to my face that he could commit to like a 3-week run of us just doing live podcasts on the road, I would do it.
It would be brilliant.
At some point, I think he's going to know he could do it, but it's a scary proposition if he doesn't. Right now, Bingo she can't deal with, I know she can't deal with the chaos of even a merch booth.
Right.
If Chad Shank could, I would definitely just switch to live podcasts. I don't have to do specials anymore. And it's in my head, the Louis C.K. thing, every night. And that's what I'm trying to focus on this tour is make tonight fun and fuck a special. None of this shit would be on a special. There's some stuff I go, am I stealing my own material? Because I think I've been doing like all this murder stuff. I think I've done this on a special, but I'm doing it different. Who gives a fuck? Make tonight fun.
Perfect time to take a break.
No, we're gonna. You guys can take a break. We're gonna do 4 commercials in a row, and if you don't listen to them and support them and buy everything we're saying, I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna take my ball and go home, and I'm never doing another podcast.
Hey, Doug, Dollar Shave Club.
Dollar Shave Club is your thing. You're the only fucking weirdo that shaves here. I get razor bumps so bad. Murphy, talk about your beaver.
Does Dollar Shave Club have ladies' razors?
I think they don't see gender.
It's just razors?
Yeah,
I buy men's razors. I think they're sharper.
She can't see her own vagina over those gigantic, voluminous titties.
But if you could see them, you'd want to make sure everything was trimmed up down there, right?
Like a topiary.
You know what? There's a smarter choice. Like a topiary. That's not even a real word.
Isn't it? Isn't that what the carved plants are?
Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
Well, the smarter choice is Dollar Shave Club. I think you could hear Brett
that
playing in the
Edward
back.
You can't hear Brett peeing in the
I was
background.
going for an Edward Scissorhands reference on topiary, but I didn't find it because there's a giant, voluminous, twice in a
I want a
segment.
razor that can carve my pubes into a giraffe. is what
Wow,
I'm
you know
trying to
what? I
say.
think you're talking about the executive. The
Oh,
executive
that's
razor.
what I'll take.
Coupled with Dr. Carver's shave butter. Wow, that's something that you have to feel to believe.
Butter.
I've actually been a member of Dollar Shave Club for
Yeah,
over
Chaille uses
2
Dollar
years.
Shave Club. And, hey, Dollar Shave Club, before you gave him money, he always talked about Dollar Shave Club. I don't use it. I don't shave.
I used to
neck
give it
bubbles.
I used to give it away as like Christmas gifts. I would send it to someone and say, "Hey, here's a 1 year." I would pay the whole thing in advance. Did it for 2 people, and yeah, I mean,
I'm a drunk, so if I would use Dollar Shave Club because when it showed up in the mailbox, I would remember to shave because otherwise I wouldn't. That's why I would use it.
Dollar Shave Club. They have. You
I
can
feel like you should sign up for Dollar Shower Deodorant and fucking Nutrition Club.
Hey, can you get a subscription to Dollar Act Club?
Be the sandwich club.
So you can choose between like a 2-blade, 3-blade, or a 5-blade.
I'll
which
take 5.
Yeah.
All right, hang on.
And you can-
Hey,
there's no
Dollar
com-
Shave Club. I know I might ruin our
You're trying.
Thing.
I know you're trying.
5 blades. Listen,
Yeah.
you're a dude. I know you have a vagina. It doesn't stop, but a mustache stops at a nose. When you have 5 blades, you can't get to that
get in
just little tiny bit right under your nose. So how about just the 2 blades?
You can do that with Dollar Shave Club. You can choose which
Or
cartridge
you can
want.
get 5 blades if you don't have a nose. Or if you're her with a vagina.
I actually just
because
switched
there's
to
no
the
reason
5
for
blade.
5 blades.
I just switched to the
You
5-blade.
can't get to this part.
Yes, you
There's no-
can.
No, you can't.
Not
I
with your
agree
shaky
Doug.
booze hands, but yeah, it's possible.
It's fucking
Put an
awful.
eye out. It's already lost
Hey,
its contact.
there's no hidden fees, no commitments. You can cancel anytime. In fact, if you're getting too many cartridges, you just tell them, "Hey, hold off for a month or 2. It's no problem." Dollar Shave Club.
Oh, and in case you want to play South by Southwest and you want to get your beard on, you can just cancel. Oh, I'm going to be all fucking hipster. And then when I have to go back to Charleston, South Carolina, I want to be all clean shaven because it's a Trump crowd.
With no nose because you got the 5 blades instead. Hey, join the club today at dollarshaveclub.com/Stanhope. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Stanhope. You can
Dot
get,
slash?
Dot slash. That doesn't
Did I
sound
say
right.
dot?
Listen, we don't-
.com/. Sorry. That's dollarshaveclub.com/. No one even knew I fucked it up.
No, we
Don't
both
you
did.
fucking dare edit this. You can't leave this unedited and then just, oh, I'm just going to take out my fuck ups.
Don't worry about it. That's all I ever do. Hey, Dollar Shave Club. It's a smarter choice.
It's a
great-
smarter choice to cook.
A great.
Oh, I was wrong.
You're mixing sponsors.
It's a smarter
a
choice than what?
a great shave.
How about just
It's a
grow
smaller
your...
choice than $2 Shave Club.
Listen, hang on. Dollar Shave Club. Prove you're not a Muslim. Let me try again. Dollar Shave Club. Prove you're not a radical terrorist.
Very good.
Because you shaved. Because they no beard.
Yeah, but on the day of, sometimes
funny
they
to
trim
do
up
it.
like Americans so they can get on the planes.
Do they do that?
Yeah, they
You can't do that and be a
Yeah.
Muslim.
You can.
That's not a true Muslim. Not in my America.
Dollar Shave Club.
Dollar Shave
I
Club.
remember when terrorists looked like terrorists.
Dollar Shave Club.
Dollar Shave Club. Do they have a deep grooming for
The worst live commercial.
Listen,
Every time we
We're
do
going to
come.
need 4 new companies to be involved in the Doug Stanhope podcast after this.
Brett, Morgan, Murphy? I have a thing. If we get dumped by a sponsor in the first read, I will pay Chaille the equivalent. But
Right.
I think Dollar Shave Club they send you fucking razors and
Cheap. It's cheap.
and you remember to shave. I think we
Right.
get
Actually,
that
that's a
across.
good point.
I
that's a
actually
good
buy
point.
more than just the razor. I get the men's grooming lotions and potions, and I also get
He's got the nose trimmer for your asshole.
Ooh.
You know, you can't
They
really
don't-
shave
you
your
can't get in
asshole,
there.
and you have a nose trimmer, but it's a big, deep, thick. So he shaves his asshole with a giant Dollar Shave Club nose trimmer, anus size.
How do you know this?
Well, because I saw a guy do it on YouTube. I typed in, how do you shave your asshole? Just the rim part. I want the outer parts to be long and hairy and affluent.
For a limited time, new members get their first month of the executive razor with a tube of their Dr. Carver's shave butter for only $5 with free shipping. And after that, razors are just a few bucks a month. Join the club today at dollarshaveclub.com/Stanhope. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Stanhope. Moving on.
I thought it was called Dr. Carver's fist butter because that's what I used it for.
Well, you should have learned how to read. You should have learned how to read.
Fist butter. Do you see the surprised look on Morgan's face?
Is all this butter is for shaving?
There's
so
nothing
much left.
shaved on her.
So much left.
I thought this was a 1-use 8-ounce tube.
I shaved out
Bend
her
over, honey. I got a lot of
confidence on the
shave
road.
butter left.
Hey, and one. Let's go. We're only in number one. What's our
We're
second?
way drunker than the people listening to this.
This
Oh
is-
no! If they don't listen to this,
Pro Flowers.
Pro Flowers. Hey,
Yeah.
I bought you some ashtrays today because you know we have that Sam and Diane kind of.
Sure. It was
We'll
a nice.
never-
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll never
Appreciate
have.
Sure.
We have kind of a cute on-stage crush on each other, but otherwise, I'm dating Whoopi Goldberg and putting on blackface.
I feel like we're Norman Cliff, Chaille.
We're just waiting. We're just waiting for our part.
I like flowers. I
Love
like
flowers.
to buy them for myself, and it's stupid to buy flowers for other people, especially when they're dead. Hey, listen, people. I just riffed this tonight, but sending flowers to dead people is the dumbest thing you could ever do. I told you to write this down. This is off topic, but it's kind of connected.
Yeah, I know.
It's a GoFundMe thing.
You know we're
Anyway.
recording for Pro Flowers.
And we're
Pro
not
Flowers.
cutting anything. We do not cut
Well,
or edit this.
Apparently,
at
I get
all.
paid either way, so let's let it fucking roll.
Yep. You got it recorded.
Yeah.
If you edit anything out of this, you have to edit out the part where I say, if we lose a read, I pay
All right,
you.
Got it.
All right, good.
Pro Flowers. If your mom's going to be dead in 3 days, send her
flowers
something that's also going to be
immediately.
dead in 3 days.
Actually, Pro Flowers has a 7-day guarantee freshness.
Oh no!
Yes, they do.
Unlike your mom,
Yeah, your mom doesn't have that kind of guarantee. So
send yourself flowers.
Yeah.
This is how I sell. I buy flowers for myself all the time. I really do. And I hate having to cut the stems and all that shit. But I buy them and I go, oh, I don't want to have to do all that. But I do. I buy myself fucking flowers. And fuck you if you call me a sissy Nancy boy. But I do. I like flowers. I like colors. I paint my house colors and I buy flowers. And I hate the fact that they're going to die. It's like having a preemie baby to me. But you know what? It's already there.
I hate cutting the stems off the preemie babies.
I
Because you know they're going to die.
I almost bought you flowers today,
Did you?
and the reason I didn't was because I knew we were staying in a condo hotel on the road. There's not going to be a place to put the flowers. I had no guarantee that there would be a vase to put it in.
Unlike Pro Flowers.
Unlike Pro Flowers,
Oh my God!
where
you know how you save
it's
this ad?
included.
Sorry, I
Bingo's
jumped the gun.
hit song that there is a video online. This is how you save this read. Is Bingo's
Thought I just
Where
did.
to Put the Flowers is the name of the
Yes.
song. All right. But anyway, I'd shove them up Morgan Murphy's fertile asshole.
Vase. Oh, I'm sorry. I went there.
Vase hole.
Hey, right now, Pro Flowers has a special. Right now, Pro Flowers has a special offer for just our listeners. Well, I'm pretty sure it's every listener. Get $10 off your purchase of $29 or more. Just use the code Stanhope at checkout. Yep, that's proflowers.com. Stanhope at checkout.
Spell it for the people.
PROFLOWERS.
No, Stanhope. They have no idea what podcast they're listening to. They're just switching dials on the podcast radio.
It's a Monday morning podcast.
Wouldn't that be great if all podcasts were on
A
radio?
radio.
You just spin a billion dials.
You know, we get people saying they want to help support the podcast, which no one ever says that. But you can support the podcast by buying something
No,
from
they
Pro
give
Flowers.
us Adderall at the fucking merch booth.
Yeah,
Well,
And that's
that'll
kinda-
help the podcast go on forever.
Yep. And you know what? It's we're teaching a lesson to every cunt that fucking says,
We'll
well,
show you."
only one podcast in the last 8 days. Yeah. And here's one that's going to last for 8 days. You motherfucker leech pig fucks that just want more and more for less and less. You fucking cheap pieces of shit. Well, there's not going to be another podcast where I'm jonesing. You're Jones on this all night long. Hey, can I come see you? And I want to come to Bisbee and hang out. Hang out for this whole fucking podcast by yourself. Cause you know what? When I hang out with you at my house, on the off occasion that randomly we let one weird dude in, you fall asleep and you sleep in your car and I'm still up doing a podcast.
But I'll tell you how you can get more for less. Right now, you can get $10 off your purchase of $29 or more at
Edit.
Pro Flowers, but the deal won't last. Eventually, the sun will blow up, and this deal will go away. Just go to proflowers.com and enter the code Stanhope.
Hey, go to proflowers.com right now, and Bill Burr is somewhere flying a fucking F-150 fighter pilot plane.
Well, you should
He's
say
bombing
a Huey.
Russia
A Huey.
with flowers blowing out of the fucking turbines because he's so much more fucking interesting.
Because he didn't want to waste his Wednesday afternoon.
I hate that guy now.
Go to proflowers.com and enter the code Stanhope at checkout and get the special deal. Done. Go to the next one.
No, we're not. No,
Yes.
don't you say done. Go to the
done.
next one
We're
like
done.
you're gonna cut. You're not fucking
No,
cutting this.
I can't put them all together.
Yes,
It
you
has to-
can.
No, that's not how it works.
Just let it go.
What-
Just
well,
let it
wait,
ride,
is-
baby.
no,
Let
read-
it ride.
All right, yes, I'll
Read
do
the
exactly
contract.
what you guys are saying.
Read the contract. Read the contract. You can't put them all
I'm
together.
afraid to right now.
Let
Listen,
it ride.
we set this
Let
up
it
where they
ride.
have to listen to this, or I quit. If you fuck, I'm done with the
okay.
podcast.
All right.
I'm done with you. I'm done with you. Done with you.
Get out.
Unless I would say the three of us are done with you all together.
All right.
Except I know that over a piece of pizza, he will not join.
I will bail on that.
Mac Weldon, everyone.
I've heard about Mac Weldon.
I'm wearing them now. I'm wearing them still. I did change up. I
This
wore
is my-
Mac Weldon for 7 days.
On the first part of the tour.
Yeah, I
Straight
think we
up.
already talked about this.
We
Mac
talk-
Weldon
no, you-
sent
no, you-
underpants, T-shirt, socks. I wore the socks for 7 days, and I'm kind of a lady bird when it comes to I like to wear my silly idiot suits matching. So when a lady goes, "Oh, you're dressed up like a fucking asshole, but it all matches." If they see your socks are like some gym socks from 1970, they'll go, "Why are you wearing white socks?" So I make sure my socks match, and dress socks generally, within minutes, it's just sweat and fucking anger and filth and you can smell your own feet. I wore Mack Weldon socks, no shit, for a week.
Yeah.
And they're better than even like good gym socks where you can wear them for maybe 2 days. No, Mack Weldon socks. I didn't even want to change them. I did because we found laundry at that place.
There was convenient laundry after 5 days.
Yeah, I
on the
will
road.
say that in my texting with Doug, which usually just it's only the score is this or the score is that or who's winning this game. It was always Clippers are up by 10 and I've been in the same socks for 5 days. It was always just an update on how many days he'd been in the same socks.
But this wasn't like he put the socks on for the show and then took them off daintily.
Yeah. No.
No. This was sleeping in them too.
Yeah.
If I allowed you to edit this, I would say pause, and I would
make a
read.
mark.
I would read. What? No, I
running.
would read the text messages. You already told me that, drunkie.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you that I'm still wearing the same socks. I know I already told you that yesterday. I'm saying I'm still.
Yeah.
And I did that to the point I was going to wear them for the whole tour, but we found one hotel that was out of order. Otherwise, that the one thing that worked. All right, I'll wash them and I'll
But
wear them
the
again.
washer and dryer were like right next to our room, which I don't know how you get that. I mean,
Full disclosure, I brought a bunch of socks to throw away on this tour.
Yeah.
It's a long story. So after a week of wearing Mack Weldon socks, which they come in colors that match my suits, and that's hard to find in a dress sock. I started wearing the old socks. I just throw away a pair every day. The Mack Weldons, I'm holding on to. The underpants, no one smelled my balls yet.
Yeah, I actually got you the ones that were they're special. Let me look them up real quick. There's actual silver. There's silver woven into the fabric. And it stays there, and it helps in
wicking away sweat.
No, actually, it's antimicrobial. It kills the smell. It knocks down odor.
Sweat.
Ball smell?
Oh,
yeah.
Do they have those in giant lady bottom sizes? Because maybe our wandering minstrel can see. Would you at least try to wear a pair of Mack Weldon's men's underpants?
If the pitch didn't start with a complete criticism of my derriere, I would absolutely wear one of those. I mean, open with a compliment, Douglas.
No, it wicks the smell. It's a period thing.
Still
Why
not
do you
good. Still
always
not
focus
good.
on your ass.
Why focus on your ass? There's much more of a problem in another area.
Yeah.
No, I'd wear them. I like this: panties, razors, and what up? Flowers.
Flowers.
That's-
Boy, this
Flowers.
is
It's like
Valentine's
all
Day.
options for breakups.
All things even the flowers I try to put up your ass.
Well, the silver, there's the 18-hour jersey, which is a cotton modal blend. The silver, and then the Air Nicks, which is the ones I got, which is a little different. I have to tell you, I don't wear undershirts. Stanhope you wear undershirts all the time. I only started wearing on this tour.
I have to, because otherwise people stare at my nipples through my supple, thin vintage
Do you have
shirts.
hard nipples?
It's thin shirts.
Well, you can see. No, I wear thin vintage shirts, and
They pop through.
the audience can't focus on my words and my dialogue because they're staring at my nipples.
Well, the 18-hour jersey T-shirt is amazing, and I wore it for the first week just during shows. And I could not – I mean, I could have kept going with it, but I washed it when we had a chance after 7 days. Man, I'm wearing it right now. I love it. I do not wear undershirts. I love it.
Chaille says this off mic too, but now he sounds like he's pitching. But I wore all three of them. I did the underwear, the T-shirt, the socks.
I have heard nothing about anything except Mack Weldon underpants and underwear this whole time.
Chaille
keeps telling me, hey, the Mack Weldons are going to meet us in
They were supposed
Atlanta.
to meet us here
in Wilmington.
And they didn't fucking accept the shipment when it came in because
Stupid
we
hotel.
couldn't even check into this
We
fucking
couldn't
hotel.
get fucking Morgan Murphy's
So guess what?
merch either.
Yeah. So all this stuff, it's fucked up where we're at. But they switched it, and instead of waiting for it to show up,
I can't wait to wear it.
instead of waiting for the shipment to be returned, they sent another one out. It's going to meet us in Atlanta. We'll be there, and that'll be the end of the tour underpants. Yeah. But you got Doug. You got to get more socks, t-shirt, and underpants.
If it meets us in
Listen,
Atlanta,
I
hopefully
did-
I can pick up some of it at a Mishka Shubali merch table.
If there's room on the table.
For the record, I did wear all three. I did the underwear, the t-shirt, and the socks, but I wear the same underpants and t-shirt anyway. Socks are the only thing. When I did 7 weeks in UK, when I first met Murph, I met you. That's the first time I remember meeting you, but I don't remember a lot. I brought a duffel bag full of just socks. And I would throw away burner socks every day, and the lighter that bag got, the closer I knew I was
home.
back to civilization, naked and afraid. I'll come home barefoot. I got it timed out. So socks are the most important thing. I can wear anything forever like a fucking homeless person or someone who was ditched in the Endurance in Ernest Shackleton's book in Antarctica in 1914, and I wear the same thing till I get rescued 18 months later. But socks are the most important thing, and I wore those socks to the point where I didn't want to disturb them any more than they weren't disturbing me, and I washed them, and I treat them like babies. All right, what's the last fucking read? Because I'm not
We nailed
lying.
these first three. We nailed these.
I
first
ain't
three.
lying so far. Do we have any lie reads where I have to lie about
This
something?
is it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I just want to turn this back and tell him no.
Tell me what it is.
All right. I don't know how to tell you what it's called. Upside, and it's the best new way to buy business travel. To buy business travel.
No, we already said no to this.
I know. Yeah, we're not going to do it.
No. We're going to do the fact that, listen.
Wait, is it like private plane type shit?
No,
Oh,
it's
I don't
not.
like that.
Listen.
What?
We're going to. This is something that Brian Hennigan, if you ever do, Brett Erickson and Hennigan used to do the soccer thing. Hennigan's the travel guy.
Soccer marmalade.
Yeah. If they do that, hey, Upside. He told me about this, and it's really nothing that I could really promote. I have to at least be behind something. He explained it to me, and I'm not that guy. I'm not against you, but here's your money back, because Chaille, I already told him, nah.
Well,
It's confusing to me.
We get offers, and we take things we've either used or we will use, and we're not familiar with this product, so I don't even know why we're talking about it.
Well, you already told me about it in the car, and I said no. But
I know, but then I saw
you
it on
have
the
one
schedule.
job, Chaille. One job is to. Do
I saw it on the
every
schedule,
single
and I
thing.
thought maybe we could just do this. And now I'm reading the copy
I'm
points.
not
like,
against. Hey, Upside. Hey, we'll do a free plug for you, and we'll give you your money back. Hey, Upside.com, or is that what it is? We're not against you, but he tried to explain this to me sober, and it didn't make sense to me, so I can't pitch it to my people. I fucking love flowers and
underpants and socks.
underpants and socks that don't get fucking filthy. When I did this in front of you, Chaille. When I took off those Mack Weldon socks after 7 days, I smelled them in front of you, which usually makes him retch just anything.
You put it to your face.
I did. I huffed them, and it was, it wasn't pleasant after 7 days.
But you
wasn't.
you were like, I could still wear these kind of thing.
And that's the real upside of Mack Weldon underpants. and
So
sound.
if you like to travel and you're really good at the filthy uncut Scotsman, go to upside.com. That's a free plug.
I don't even know if that's it.
don't
This copy's really weird.
Well,
It doesn't
he
matter.
does travel a lot.
You read it to me and I said no, but you've been.
If the filthy Scotsman, Brian Hennigan, and I should never call him that because he's my neighbor and I love him. If he likes it for travel, it's probably good because he travels a lot and he's a smart person.
Yeah.
So I'll give him the Brett Erickson seal of approval. Upside. But
All
here's
right,
also your money
let's
back.
wrap this up because
what
if they
happens
didn't
is-
listen to all of these fucking things, I'm quitting. I'm quitting podcast. What a threat! Everyone's gonna
Well,
protest.
the call to action is check out what I've arranged for you. Are you buying this?
We're trying to be nice we're trying to let them down easy.
No, Chaille will edit
I think
this
you're
out. Chaille,
shitting
will
on the
edit.
product. We don't want to.
Well,
shit
I'm
on
just
the
seeing
product.
how like there's like I didn't see this part. I would have said no for sure.
Well, no, it's,
did say no
it's,
for sure.
It's a nice no. You're supposed to. We're
All right.
It's
hey,
a nah.
listen. It's hey. What's the name? Upside.
It's upside.
Hey, Upside. It's not you. It's me. You did everything right.
I just need some
Oh, it
me
says
time.
here that if you use the name BizTrip, you're guaranteed at least a $200 Amazon gift card your first trip that you book through them.
That actually does sound pretty
Yeah.
good.
So my name BizTrip. I don't know how we get credit on that. Gets you at least a. Oh, that's your DJ name from college.
That's my
His
line.
trip.
Why are you stealing my? That's my like go-to
No, I'm
line.
giving you all of his because.
I could
Why,
totally was gonna
why are
do
you
that.
bathering me?
Hey, it's a no-brainer.
What is he running for mayor?
Save big on travel and get a big gift card every trip.
Castle Rock Kenny for mayor of Bisbee. It's a no-brainer. He's a thin Chris Christie. Remember the old days?
I love Upside.com. Upside.com. Minimum purchase required. See site for complete details.
All right,
I
so
feel
so
dirty.
now we're gonna. Can I get a firm commitment from you, Ggreg Chaille,
Yes.
that you will not edit out your firm commitment to not edit any of this, and just hit send?
This last part will not go on. Upside will
What?
not go on. No, I just won't do it. No, I'll politely
It's such a bummer.
All right.
I mean, this
well,
is what makes this makes the
we'll-
podcast good.
We'll talk
This book-
after.
this-
All right. No.
This is what
I
makes
have
it-
my people
All right.
in front of your door that are going to release you from your commitment of 20 years in this
All right.
business.
So we put that out. What I just said. Everything that I just said.
Every single
right.
thing we've all said, you put out because.
Because I did tell them.
Morgan Murphy is here.
I did tell them I didn't want to do it.
Morgan Murphy, do you have any buyer's remorse that you want edited out of this whole podcast?
No.
Brett Erickson.
No,
That's a no.
no.
So you're
Never.
okay with this just going out because
yeah.
we're going to do May 20th and you're
I
not
wanted to
invited because it's sold out. We're going to do a live broadcast of a podcast and you're not going to have that. Well, actually, we are going to edit that and put it
No, but
out.
it's not going to be edited at all. I keep telling Shirley, don't edit it. Just put it out.
I know.
It should be live. It should go out.
I don't mind Chaille doing all the intro and outro things he likes to do. And
No editing for content.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to put these commercials out in a row.
Title the thing. If you don't listen to the sponsors, we like the old National Lampoon. If you don't buy this issue, we'll kill this dog. Okay, hang on. And to close it out, hang on. Bingo.
Get off the fucking stage and look at the picture of my fucking house slippers.
Hang on, Bingo. You're not on stage. You were at the end of the longest podcast on Earth, and we are just closing it out. So you get to close out the podcast.
Well, I'm closing it out by saying get the fuck off the podcast and look at my goddamn picture of my new house slippers.
Doug, why don't you go see them in person using upside.com?
Use the promo code BizTrip. Thank you, Morgan.
Bingo.
What?
Can you introduce
the band Fame Riot to close out the podcast.
What's their name?
Fame Riot.
Okay. Close it up, Fame Riot.
And then say something dark, bingo, angry bingo.
Angry Bingo's not angry right now. She got house slippers, goddammit. Why am I supposed to be angry all the fucking time?
I love you. I'll call you back once we shut this thing down and pour a drink.
Okay, I love you back. Call me back. I love you back.
I love you and your big fat ass, and I'll kick you with a shoe. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that's gonna be the end. But we need to do like the spots are going in the middle on our break.
When do we do
No.
No?
No, we do it.
All right.
This whole podcast. If you don't listen to the sponsors at the end, I kill this podcast. That's it. All right.
So
Yep.
let's do that right now. Okay.
I just said it.
No,